I'm Glenn Olson, joined by my partner Ryan McGahey. We'll be bringing you all the action here tonight. Ryan, this game is the culmination for many of these players with a lifelong love affair with the game of football.
Absolutely, Glenn. Tonight is the last time that these kids will get to step foot on a high school football field. They've been doing it for 4 years. It's their senior year. They're either going on to college or they're going on to their professional lives after high school. This is it for them tonight.
These players have been balancing end of the year activities in their senior year, graduation, finishing up their spring sports seasons and all those types of things, taking time to go practice with new teammates, learn a new pretty basic offensive or defensive system, and the chance to come out here and pop the pads one more time.
That's right. For tonight's game, it's just you'll see a basic offense, no blitzing, kind of almost all-star game rules. Pro Bowl, think of the NFL Pro Bowl, 4-3 defense, basic offense. Not going to see anything too flashy.
Yeah, no no zone coverage on defense, all man-to-man coverage defensively. Offensively, you always have to run an offensive set with a running back in the backfield. So it's usually a high-scoring, exciting game.
Absolutely. Glenn, we have a third member of our team, don't we?
Yeah. At this point, we're going to bring in Patrick Geshin to give you a little bit of history of the East-West All-Star game. Patrick, take it away.
1971. It was a 23-12 victory for the West team that night. The game was at Nippert Stadium. The game took a break between 1980 and 1984. It was resumed in 1985 at Galbraith Field. The games had played here at Kings High School since 2009, and it was a 21-12 victory for the East team last year right here on this field. So the West looking for some revenge tonight. Guys?
Ryan, as we mentioned a minute ago, it's normally a pretty competitive game out here. What are the overall records like in this contest?
Absolutely. Like we said, this is the 42nd time we've had this Ron Woyan East-West All-Star game, and in the 41 previous games, the East has an overall record of 23-18 against the West.
And recently, the East has been on a tear, winning 9 of the last 10 games in this contest. So it seems to be each part of town takes a decade or so of going on a run and dominating the contest in some fashion. So let's talk about our coaches for the game tonight. A big honor.
If the West is going to win tonight, they're going to do it behind their head coach, Chris Mobley. He'll be entering his second year of head coach at Hughes High School. And ever since taking over at Hughes, he's preached hard work, teamwork, and unity. And his college recruiting has really paid off there, as 4 players from Hughes signed national letters of intent on National Recruiting Day. And they're going to do it behind Chris Mobley if they're going to break that streak this year.
Yeah, nice to see a resurgence in the Big Red football program under Coach Mobley. For the East, they're coached by Brandon Salmons of Blanchester High School. He's probably a familiar name to many of our ICRC-TV viewers, as he is a 2000 alum of Mason High School. He's in his second year, I believe, now at Blanchester after spending some time as an assistant at Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, Little Miami, as well as at Mason. Interesting note on Coach Salmons, father of 6 children. So not only does he have football to keep him busy, he's got a pretty busy home life too, it sounds like.
He's almost there to having his own side of the ball complete.
He's got his own offensive line and tight end at this point, right?
Yeah, and then looking at the West, the key players for the West, a couple players to watch. Every player in this game is a key player. Everybody's going to contribute. But maybe a couple of players from ICRC schools to watch. From North College Hill, quarterback/defensive back, Franklin Stewart. He's more of a mobile quarterback. He had 1,300 rushing yards last year with 8 rushing touchdowns. And on the defensive side of the ball, 8 interceptions. 3 of those took back for touchdowns. So he's going to be one to watch on either side of the ball, no matter which way he plays. And then for Harrison, number 22, Gerald Smith. He is your classic wide receiver, 73 receptions, 1,075 yards, and 10 receiving touchdowns.
And for the East side, they are loaded as well. Player to keep an eye on is from Roger Bacon High School, number 11, Amari Rogers. He's a first-team All-GCL co-ed selection from this past season. He's going to be attending Wittenberg University and majoring in communications. Also, defensively, look out for Jamal Hines from Princeton High School. Jamal was an early commit to the University of Cincinnati, got caught up in the coaching transition there. Now will be attending the University of Toledo up in Northwest Ohio. Jamal Hines was a first-team All-GMC selection this past season and promises to be creating all kinds of havoc on the defensive line for the East tonight. He's also a pretty good volleyball player, too, if you turned it into our Milford Princeton volleyball coverage back in the spring. So he's got a lot of athletic ability and is going to be trying to get after the quarterback and skill players on this West team tonight.
Absolutely. Stay right there, folks. Stay at Ron Woyan, 42nd East-West All-Star game coming up right after this.
And welcome back once again to the 42nd annual Ron Woyan East-West All-Star Football Game. Glenn Olson and Ryan McGahey with you. Just finishing up the pregame festivities down on the field. The captains are meeting. We're about to have the coin toss by our official. But each member of the roster was just introduced, had a chance to come out and shake hands with Coach Woyan. And we'll be kicking off here in just a few minutes, Ryan. Should be a pretty exciting game.
Absolutely. As you see, you said there's the captains at midfield getting ready to do the coin toss. And I really like that if you might be able to see there here in a minute, you can see both teams, the entire teams are standing there pretty much around the 50. It's not just the 4 or 5 captains. You see both the entire teams standing out there at midfield. There you go. You see it right there. All the players are there as they should be.
Just a absolutely stunning night for football here in the Little Miami River Valley. Kings High School, temperature in the mid-70s at this point. A few white puffy clouds in the sky. The sun starting to set behind the stadium. Just be a great night for football. Typically, these are high-scoring affairs, Ryan. I'm sure we're going to see lots of offensive fireworks.
Yeah, and as you said, beautiful, beautiful facility here at Kings High School. I don't know if we can take a look around or not, but it's just a stadium that's really nestled into almost, it looks like a forest here. And then if you look to the south, you got Kings Island. You can see the rides off in the distance, and just a beautiful setting. We were talking before the game. Can you imagine this place in October with all the the leaves changing colors and the Friday night lights going on, and this is kind of a conclusion for these guys in their senior year of high school. But this is such a perfect facility. To me, in my mind, it's almost a kickoff to the 2017 season.
Yep, time to close the chapter on the 2016 season, close the book rather, and start the new book. We look ahead to the fall of 2017.
And really, it's a thing they always say in graduations. They call it a commencement ceremony. And if you look up the definition for commence, it means to begin. So I mean, you're really talking about everybody. It's new beginnings for everybody. It's new beginnings for these players getting ready to go off to college. It's new beginnings for these high schools as they lose all these players and have to kind of start anew next year.
Just about set to get underway. Jared McGuire will handle the kicking duties for the West All-Stars. McGuire from Fairfield High School, listed at 6'1", 220 pounds. I'm sure he's not afraid to get out there and mix it up a little bit.
Terrence Smith back to receive for the East, and the West All-Stars will have to watch Terrence Smith. He's the second return man back there. The Princeton Vikings, number 1. And he can take it back.
Terrence Smith will be attending the University of Findlay. Continue his athletic and academic career. So, nice kick by McGuire. Will be as the ball sails into the end zone for a touchback. Tribble from Riverview East couldn't quite come up with it, but the East All-Stars will get the action started, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. For many of these players, this is their last opportunity, Ryan, to maybe try to catch the eye of a coach, maybe a last gasp effort to try to get on with the program. You're not going to see many players in this game who are committed to more of the major programs, due to fear of injury and things like that. But still a lot of players here who are committed to play at the next level on both rosters tonight.
Absolutely, and one of those might be the quarterback, number 12, Zarin Davis from Summit Country Day, as he lines up with 2-back split to either side.
Davis, 6'5", 200 pounds, the athletic specimen, getting the starting duties tonight. We'll also see lots of free substitution in this game.
He's looking to throw, Glenn.
Yeah, right off the bat. Sidearm throw, not the prettiest pass in the world, but it is complete. Hauled in by number 24, Brandon Conklin, Miami Valley Christian Academy.
And way to make me look a fool in the open, Glenn. I said you're not going to see anything flashy here. First play of the game, Brandon Sammons from Blanchester calls a handoff, and it's a halfback pass for 40 yards.
Yeah, so all the way down to the West 41-yard line. The East already in the West territory here. Fresh set of downs.
Well, that's what happens when you have 2 quarterbacks lined up in the backfield. They had Zarin Davis take the snap, and Tristan Green, he's a quarterback defensive back from Blanchester. He's the one that took that handoff and threw that pass.
So Blocking didn't quite materialize there. It's going to be no gain on that run.
And that was Tristan Green as well. He's listed as a quarterback defensive back, but he just took that handoff again 2 plays in a row. Or he may have took a direct snap, actually. So it looks like Zarin Davis is off the field. Tristan Green, number 5, is now your quarterback.
So 2nd and 10, ball still on the West 41-yard line.
To Green's right is Ryan Bagnoli from Loveland.
It's going to be a quick pass. Protection is there and just a little bit off the mark. Pass was intended out for number 36, Braxton Rodenberger from Franklin High School. 5'11", 165-pound wide receiver.
So what makes these games so tough is, these players haven't played together. They haven't played in months, and the timing is just not always there. You want to take a look at the replay here. On the out route, just thrown to the inside shoulder. Needed to get it to the outside shoulder.
3rd and 10. Clock is stopped at 11:09 after the incompletion.
Going to be a keeper.
Dive up the middle is going to be good for about 3 yards. So it's going to set up a 4th and long situation for the East. 4th and 7.
Being in plus territory here, Salmons from Blanchester. He just may go for it. 4th and 7. Take a look at the replay. Just a quick quarterback keeper right up the middle. 3 yards.
Yep, a little bit too long for a field goal try.
4 wide receivers, one running back.
Audible called at the line, looking over to the sideline for guidance. New play calls put in, as Ryan said a minute ago. 4 receivers, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom.
He's going
long pass, going to the end zone, wide open, and just off his fingertips.
Tristan Green going for number 13, Will Thomas from Middletown. 6'3", 175, just out of the reach of his outstretched hands there. And the East is showing some aggressiveness here in the early going, Glenn.
It's the right play call. It was the right situation. Just a little bit overthrown. And these teams have had a chance to practice together, but not a lot. Not every player can make every practice, and practice time's somewhat limited. As we talked in the open, you're trying to fit in these practices around graduation seasons and graduation parties and summer jobs and all the other various things that keep recently graduated high school students busy preparing for the next step in their lives.
Eric Jackson from Hamilton is quarterback for the West to start the game.
Be a handoff onto the right side to Monolo Caldwell from Colerain.
Caldwell of the Colerain Cardinals, one of the premier powerhouse schools here in the Cincinnati area.
And that's the understatement of the day, right? He will be attending Davenport. 827 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns in the 2016 season.
What's interesting is Franklin Stewart from North College Hill is also a quarterback, is lined up at wide receiver.
Jackson calls his own number, tries to turn the corner on the right side, keeps those feet moving.
He's got a
and will
first
be
down.
Forced out of bounds into the East territory. But it will be a first down, as Ryan mentioned. Eric Jackson, a tremendous athlete. Saw him play against Sycamore last season on our ICRC-TV Friday Night Football.
Eric Jackson, he's 6', 220. That's the size of a NFL running back, and he showed it there. Just a quick snap and ran power off to the right side, 12 yards.
1st and 10, 9:38 remaining in the opening quarter. Jackson's going to hand off. It's Caldwell again. Caldwell tries the right side, gets near the first down marker, but it's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, so it'll be 2nd and 1
Take a quick
for the
look
West.
at the replay here. The end of the play, Caldwell finishing that run strong. 8 yards, 9 yards, if you will. 2nd and long 1 coming up for the West. They're looking to pound this ball, it would seem, Glenn.
Both teams able to move the ball pretty quickly into their opponent's territory. Let's see if the West can keep the drive going. East not able to do so. Jackson, quick swing pass out to the right side. It is complete. That'll be a first down and more.
That's Gerald Smith from Harrison, one of our key players earlier. Picks up 4 on that quick out pass.
Very, very quick movement once he caught that ball and turned around.
Here's your replay. It's going to be
First and 10 for the West, 9:24 here in the opening quarter from Kings High School.
There you see Gerald Smith lining up wide at the top of your formation.
I think it's an all-star game. Might have been offsides. Jackson under immediate pressure, and he's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be a loss of a yard.
Sammy Myers, defensive lineman from Turpin, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He just blitzed right through that line of scrimmage. He had the snap count guessed, and he guessed right. Look at this. He didn't make the tackle, but he blew up that play.
Jackson had nowhere to go. He took the snap and was under immediate pressure. So a loss of 3 on the play, 2nd and 13. Let's send it down to our broadcast partner, Patrick Gresham, who has Greg Korn.
Hi, I have Greg Korn from Madeira. Greg, how are you having fun tonight?
Oh, we're having a great time right now. We just got started going. Our D's picking up real well right now.
Tell me about the future for you. What college are you going to in your major?
I'm going to Ohio University, and I'm going to major in PE.
PE, what made you think of that?
My coach is a physical education coach, and I just bonded with him really well, and I just love the work that he does.
Yeah. All right. Well, Greg, thank you so much. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
An outstanding career for the Mustangs for Greg Korn. We certainly wish him well. Next phase of his life is a Bobcat out in Athens, Ohio.
I'd imagine we get to see him a little bit tonight, maybe line up in the backfield.
Jackson tries to step up away from the pressure, but there was Jamal Hines.
I was just about to say during pregame, what did you tell me before we went on air?
Jamal Hines is just a beast.
He's going to be disruptive, and where's he headed?
He's headed to the University of Toledo.
Check it out here, Jamal Hines, right through the middle of the line. There's some pressure coming up the outside, but Jamal Hines is able to finish it off.
Hines just a tremendous athlete. Very physical, very quick.
You got trips to the bottom of your screen here. Could be a pooch punt.
4th and 20. Probably not where they wanted to give field position to the east. Jackson tries to scramble away, but that offensive line just having all kinds of problems.
Jamal Hines and Lane Evans, linebacker from Turpin, 5'11", 215. Jamal Hines initiated the pressure, and Lane Evans, you watch it here. Here comes Hines right there. You also had number 21, Ben Collado from CHCA, and then Lane Evans finished it off.
Evans was right there from the get-go, forcing Jackson over to the right. That's a gigantic loss. So excellent field position here for the East second offensive series. It'll be 1st and 10 from the West 45-yard line, let's call it.
Xander Davis, quarterback.
Handoff up the middle is going to go to Greg Korn, who we just interviewed. Gets action here early in the game.
I speculated just a minute ago we might see him in the backfield, and here he is. Really a basic offense tonight. It's going to be a lot of this read option. Trips to the bottom here.
Gain of a little over 3 yards, 2nd and 7. Quick pass over to the right, nearly intercepted.
That may have been intended for Sycamore's Kadeem Fall.
It was.
Or it could have been for Greg Korn. I don't know if we're going to check out this replay or not. One of them, it looked like it was for Kadeem Fall. If it was for Korn didn't turn.
Yeah, I thought it was targeted for Fall, but
what
under all kinds of pressure
Kadeem
there.
Fall was he got bumped on the line of scrimmage by the man covering him, and he couldn't get turned around.
So 3rd and 8 for the East. Trying to take advantage of this very generous field position. Handoff, Korn in all kinds of trouble. Is going to be driven back into East territory, though, by a pack of red all-star jerseys.
I got Eric Allier from Ross, linebacker, 5'11", 188, and a couple other players. Check out the replay. No blocking here whatsoever. See number 82 in there as well. Rashad Roddy from Mount Healthy. And the East, outside of the trick play, they haven't really moved the ball. The West, they actually did have some momentum on their offensive series. Just kind of stalled out there at the end. The East, they're going to punt here.
Eric Allgaier from Ross headed to Otterbein in the fall. Continue his athletic and academic pursuits. A little bit of a rollout punt.
Headed for the corner. This is a good punt if it holds up.
Yep, into the end zone for a touchback.
Just need to aim that to the corner just a little bit more. Trying a little coffin corner punt there, but he aimed a little too straight towards the end zone.
Tony Buckley from Hughes was the deep man for the West All-Stars, and just kind of had a feeling that one was going to roll into the end zone. So both teams have started the game with good field position on their first couple of offensive series, Ryan, but neither are able to do much with it from that point.
Looks like Logan Camphouse, number 8 for Talawanda, might be in here at quarterback for the West. It's number 8, Logan Camphouse from Talawanda as the quarterback.
He's headed to Ohio Wesleyan in the fall. He was the Week 5 WCPO Player of the Week. So 1st and 10 from the 20, 5:54 in the opening quarter here from Kings High School. Glenn Olson and Ryan McGahey, Jason Dudley and another all-star crew. Campus under pressure is going to be brought down back at the 10-yard line, or Camphouse, excuse me.
It's Jacob Cyrus from New Richmond, linebacker, 5'10", 180. Crashing in through that offensive line and taking down Camphouse.
So we knew there was a shortage of linemen for both teams coming into this game, and that's starting to rear its ugly head at this point. Neither quarterbacks had much time to move or to make anything happen for the West All-Stars, Ryan.
Ormani Zanders, running back for Taft, is behind Camphouse.
Receiver goes in motion.
It's a handoff jet sweep.
Handoff and busted up pretty quickly there.
Caleb Bastion from Bethel Tate.
6'4", 210 pounds. Moves very well.
The thing with the jet sweep, you got to seal that in, and if you don't seal the end, that's usually the end result, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
3rd and 22 now. West marching in the wrong direction.
I'd be interested to see the total game stats right now for both teams. I think both teams might be close to 0 or negative yards.
I would say negative yards, certainly. Camphouse tries to step up away from the pressure.
He's sacked, and that's
right into the waiting arms.
That's Bastion again.
Bastion again from Bethel Tate.
He had some help with the pressure. They forced him up into Bastion. And check out the replay here. See 38 there. That's Luke Newton from, I guess that's Claremont Northeast, C&E, who got the initial pressure and forced him up into Bastion.
So 4th and 24. It's going to be a punt from the back of the end zone for the West All-Stars. Terrence Smith from Princeton, just inside the 50-yard line, set to receive the punt. Trying to get the right personnel on the field are the West All-Stars.
Looks like the West All-Stars had to take a timeout. That play clock was running down. They got Alex Walkendorf from Reading on the field at the last second. He must have been missing. Somebody was missing from the punt team lineup, and they had to try to get him in at the last second, and they didn't have enough time.
Got to be very frustrating for a coach to burn a timeout on a punt.
Absolutely. You know, in the pregame, we talked about how this game usually ends up being a high-scoring affair, and if you go back and look through the history, you're absolutely right. It does end up being a high-scoring affair. However, again, if you go back and look at the history, there are numerous games where it was 8-3 or 8-6. I believe there might have even been one where it was 6-0. So there are those defensive struggles kind of games.
This is starting to have that feel here in the early going. Clock stopped at 3:37 after the timeout by the West squad. No score. So Jared McGuire will punt it away. He botches the snap.
Game here.
It is going to be forced out of the back of the end zone, and that will be a safety. And the first points of the game come on a special team safety, Ryan.
Absolutely. This, again, might be what you just touched on briefly a moment ago, the offensive line. They had to struggle getting kids to come out and play for the offensive line in this game. And, again, you're seeing it on every play. It's taking its toll.
No one notable absence from the East squad was Andrew Johnson from Milford. Andrew was a second-team All-City offensive lineman. Will be continuing his career at the University of Sioux Falls, but had a little shoulder scare in practice and elected to sit out the game and not risk further injury before he heads up to Sioux Falls later in July. Here's a look at our Cablecast replay schedule for our Spectrum and Phioptics customers. You can also find all of our sporting events that we cover, as well as educational, municipal, cultural events at ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. Come back and take a look at this replay here, Ryan.
Absolutely. Take a look at the replay. He fumbled the snap, but even if he got that snap clean,
he would have never had.
I don't think he would have got that off. It would have been blocked.
He would have never had a chance to drop the ball and kick it. So it was just sort of inevitable that there was going to be 2 points coming out of that play.
All right, Mexico Tribble from Riverview East back to return along with Terrence Smith. Punting for the West team is number 15, Jarrett McGuire from Fairfield. 2-0 game here. The East is in the lead, 2-0.
Decent enough kick's going to bounce inside the 35. Oh, big hit.
Wow, number 33, Kate Harper from St. X, the defending state champions.
Wow.
Representing his team very well with a big hit there.
Well, before they outlawed the phrase on ESPN, that would have been a jacked up play. Nice hit by Harper. Very excited. Now you know why they're talking about, there's discussion every year, it seems, on banning kickoffs and the like. You see big hits like that, Ryan.
Tristan Green back in at quarterback.
3:27 remaining in the opening quarter. Green rolls out to his left. Pass
Dribble.
is complete. Will be a first down.
That's a nice rollout to his left. Tristan Green, he rolls out to his left. Tribble just runs a nice little 10 and out and syncs up very nicely with Tristan Green there for a 13-yard pickup.
That will move the sticks. 1st and 10 from the East own 44-yard line. 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. As we mentioned in the open, you always have to have 1 running back in the backfield with the quarterback. Under the few special rules for this game, under pressure, lets the pass fly, and it's going to skip off the turf and fall incomplete. Pass was going to be intended for number 26, Ryan Bagnoli from Loveland.
Which has 36, Braxton Rodenberger. Wide receiver from Franklin, yeah. See Tristan Green roll out. He's under pressure for number 23, Trey Relaford. And just underthrew Rodenberg just a little bit there. He almost had it.
2nd and 10. Clock stopped at 3:13 after the incompletion. Receiver goes in motion to the bottom of your screen.
Trips now at the bottom. Green's going to throw again.
He's going to be under pressure. Tries to step up away from it. It eludes a couple defenders. Nice little move.
Free.
Squirted through a hole there. First down and more. Nice run by Green to get that ball down inside the west 40-yard line.
If you ever want to see the classic definition of a solo effort to make a play happen, check out this replay of Tristan Green ducking, dodging, defending. Here it is on your screen. Yep. Ducks 1, misses 2. Jukes 1 behind his own defender, runs through 3.
Yeah, nice little hole there.
And then he just trips up. But if he stays on his feet, he might be in the end zone.
Yeah, that was a tackle by the turf monster. Nobody touched him. 1st and 10. Handoff up the middle. Good pressure right away from the interior of that defensive line from the West All-Stars.
That was Adam Phelps, the running back from Wilmington. And a whole host of West defenders on the tackle for the 3-yard loss.
That's going to go down as a loss of 3. 2nd and 13 now for the East. Kadeem Fall from Sycamore, one of our ICRC communities. The receiver split to the bottom of your screen, just out of your shot that you're seeing right now. Audible at the line of scrimmage, going to change the play call up a little bit. 2 receivers at the top of the screen, check their wristband. Fall never moved. Quick pass.
Tried a little pop pass there to Tribble in the slot. Tristan Green, the sideline, I should say, read something there with the defense. And they called a quick little pop pass. Tristan Green read it right, and Tribble just didn't look for it.
Damian Hopkins from Western Hills was in coverage.
Here it is.
Had he turned around, might have had a chance to.
The throw was also in the ground, but Tribble never looked for it.
Yeah. So 3rd and 13.
think after this play, maybe we might get down to Patrick Geshin here soon.
Yep, nice hole up the middle developed for Phelps.
What a run, and he might have that first down.
Yep, tremendous
On
second,
third and
effort.
13, he picks up 14.
All right, let's send it down to Patrick, who has Jamal Hines.
Princeton with me now. Jamal, what does the future look like for you in terms of college?
Right now, the future's looking pretty bright. I committed to the University of Toledo, so I'll be there for the next 4 seasons.
What are you going to miss most about high school football?
The two-a-days, the coaches, just the whole atmosphere of Friday Night Lights. That's just a great feeling. I'm going to miss it a lot.
How much fun are you having tonight?
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun. He got a little pancake on me, so then that made me turn it up. And then after that, I got like 4 plays back-to-back tackles for losses.
All right, Jamal, have a blast. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Good luck. Jamal Hines from Princeton, guys.
Here goes Green again.
Nice little cutback move. Pick up 2 or 3 extra yards there, Ryan, and that's going to be another first down, it looks like.
What kind of secret weapons are they hiding out there in Blanchester?
Right.
My goodness. Let's check out this replay here. Let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. He juked 4 guys out of their shoes.
Tristan Green had 22 touchdowns this season for Blanchester, Ryan. So timeout taken on the field. Clock stopped at 1:08. The East leads by 2-0 after a botched punt in the west end zone a few minutes ago. And all of a sudden, the East has found some things that are working here and threatening, Ryan.
Absolutely. This game kind of started off a little on the boring side, a little on the defensive side. If you like defensive struggles, then this is probably a very exciting game to you. If you like the offensive shootouts, you're probably a little bored. And Tristan Green has certainly got everyone on the edge of their seats here with his dazzling moves out there on the field.
Well, a lot of times in this game, each team just has to feel each other out a little bit, and they start finding some things that'll work. They may find something in the defense they can take advantage of, and it seems like the East has found whatever it is out that's working here so far on this drive.
Yeah, last year the East won 21-12, and I believe most of those points were scored in the second half.
Yep. It was a pretty uneventful first half, as I recall. So we're back after the timeout. 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. East threatening here deep into West territory.
It's Tribble on a jet sweep.
Yep, he's going to turn the corner. He's going to get there. Touchdown!
Nice effort on the defensive end.
Yep, there it is.
From Alex Walkendorf, he almost knocked him out at the 1, but Tribble was able to finish strong, and they go on a jet sweep. We saw the West run the jet sweep earlier. Check it out here. Look at number 72 for Sycamore. He's really going to seal that in, and then you got Phelps out there with the lead block. The only chance was Walkendorf, who made a very nice effort on the defensive side. Got to give some love for the Reading boys. But nice run there by Tribble. But really, I gotta call out number 72 on the East roster. I believe that's Jacob Ungrui from Little Miami.
Yeah.
Might have been 74, Zach Richard from Sycamore. But the left side of that line really sealed that jet sweep and allowed Tribble to really run in the end zone almost untouched.
So the point after try is good, and the East moves up by a score of 9-0 with 1 minute exactly remaining on the clock here in the opening quarter. So a very successful offensive drive for the East results in a touchdown and extra point, Ryan.
That scoring drive took 8 plays, 69 yards.
And that play was like we talked about it during the timeout just a moment ago. It was really sparked by Tristan Green. He had 2 exciting plays, but let's not forget Adam Phelps, the running back, on that 3rd and 13,
right,
ran for 14 yards. It was a very, very strong run. They had him stopped. It would have been 4th and, I don't know, about 4 or 5, and he kept the pile going. Then his line got up behind him, pushed him up for that first down.
So the East is going to have a chance to kick off for the first time in this game.
So it's my 2 key players that I pointed out in the pregame are back to return that kick. I believe that's Franklin Stewart and Gerald Smith. Let's see if one of them can prove me right.
Just waiting the kickoff here.
It's a kid from Mason kicking off.
Andrew Maurer from Mason.
Andrew Maurer, yeah. So we got ICRC school kicking to a couple ICRC kick returners here. It's a little pooch kick.
Oh, and another big hit. Fielded just inside the 40-yard line.
Sammy Myers.
Andrew O'Donnell from Talawanda.
Yeah, big props there to O'Donnell to hold on to that the kick there.
That was a big lick for sure.
Here's the replay. A little pooch kick trying to catch the kick return team offside.
So Andrew Howard, as Ryan mentioned, is from our ICRC community of Mason. He was the RayGuyProKicker.com top prospect award winner going into last season. Successful season for Mason football. We saw them fall to Sycamore. The game played up in Middletown back in November.
Eric Jackson still under center or he's back under center, I should say, for the West.
That's going to be a handoff and not a whole lot of room there. Maybe a gain of a yard.
I believe that's Cooper Scholes from Oak Hills. Schultz.
You see Schultz just not a whole lot of room. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and there was Pettit right there to finish it off.
Stephen Trainer from Batavia to start it on defense. And Pettit finished that off.
So it's going to be a gain of 1 officially, 2nd and 9, and it's a long 9, Ryan. Jackson.
2nd and 9 3/4.
Yeah. Jackson takes the snap in the pistol. Quick pass over to his
open.
right.
That's
It is
Scholes.
complete to Scholes.
Boy, you got to finish that run, sir. You really have to finish that run. He pulled up there, and number 42, Lane Evans, pushed him back. If he falls forward and finishes that run, it's 3rd and 1. Instead, it's 3rd and 4. It's 3rd and 5.
So 3rd and 4,
You'll
definitely
watch it here on your
doable.
replay. And that's going to be in the first quarter, but Lane Evans just stood him up.
Yeah, it looked like he may have wanted to try to cut back, but never really had the opportunity. So, as Ryan mentioned, the first quarter has expired. Your score at the end of 1, the East All-Stars 9, the West 0, but with the football and driving.
Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association
So,
would like to thank the following people and organizations without whose help
both teams will huddle up with their coaches to talk about what we want to accomplish here in the second quarter. For the West, they've got to figure out a way to protect their quarterback and running backs, get some positive momentum, and keep a drive alive. The standout unit in the game so far, to me, Ryan, has been the East defensive line. It's creating all kinds of problems for the West offensive unit.
Absolutely. It's been Jamal Hines, Lane Evans, Hazen Pettit, and Jacob Cyrus really disrupting the West's offensive play.
So 9-0. West with the football and driving. It's going to be 3rd and 3. On their own 46-yard line. Jackson will stay in at quarterback, 1 receiving to the top, 1 at the bottom. Jackson's going to keep it himself, has good blocking up the middle. Nice little spin move to cross into West territory, and that's going to be a first down for the West All-Stars.
Now that was a nice play for the West offensive line. Just ran Eric Jackson just right off the right tackle. Nice hole there, squeezes through, makes a spin, first down, 6-yard pickup.
And that spin move is what got him the first down. So into East territory by a yard, 1st and 10 from the East 49. Jackson calling out the signals. Fake handoff. Football's going to be run to the left side of the formation.
Caldwell from Colerain.
Manolo Caldwell, outstanding prep career for the Cardinals.
Just a quick handoff, goes off tackle to the left side. Scholes was out there lead blocking, couldn't really seal that the edge out there for Caldwell to run off tackle.
Caldwell will be attending Davenport, 827 rushing yards last season for the Cardinals.
And that's a pretty good season for a high school player, and he was probably 3rd or 4th on his team.
Yeah. 2nd and 9, Jackson. Quick
Gerald
pass
Smith
is complete. Nice job of hauling that in traffic by Gerald Smith, as Ryan mentioned. That'll be a first down for the West.
He's just going to run a little skinny post here, and Eric Jackson from Hamilton hits him right on target, right in stride. Nice play call, great pass, great execution.
Jackson will also be attending Davenport. Continue his career. 1,360 passing yards last year, 6 passing touchdowns, 16 rushing touchdowns.
Well, we know someone who's interested in this game right now then. Some people from Davenport are watching their backfield play.
Yeah, lots of Davenport players dotting both rosters.
They might be taking a sigh of relief every play as the defensive line, that front 7 for the East, continue to wreak havoc on Caldwell and Jackson. Almost every play, as you see here, another play, the front 7. This time it's number 32 for the East All-Stars. That's Nick Hopkins from Blanchester. I mean, the front 7's really wreaking havoc on this West offense.
So keep your eye on the top of the screen. That's DeQuan Freeman from Aiken, split to the top. Jackson just went over and
he's a burner.
Had a quick conversation with him, so I kind of have a feeling that's who Jackson's going to be looking for on this play. Nope, quick swing pass over to the right is hauled in by Eric Price of Aiken. It's going to be a gain of about 3 yards.
Anquan Price, 6'3", 210. He's your typical size wide receiver nowadays. Back in the day, it was 6 foot, 6'1", 210, 220-pound wide receivers. Now they like him 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", and he fits that bill just nice.
3rd and 7 for the West. The ball's on the 32-yard line. Approaching 9-minute mark here in the second quarter from Kings High School, the 42nd annual East-West All-Star Game. Ron Woyan East-West All-Star Game, I should say. Ron's still very active and involved.
We got to meet him pregame.
In producing the game. His son Tim very involved as well. Jackson with a little bit of trouble. Decides to keep it himself. He's going to dive up the middle and pick up maybe 3 yards. It's going to be 4th and 5. Gain of 2.
He might be bringing out the kicking game here. It'd be interesting to see if he's going to try for a very long field goal or go for a punt. Here's the replay. And again, from Blanchester, number 32, Nick Hopkins, in there on the stop.
Jared McGuire from Fairfield is going to trot onto the field. The ball spotted
He's going
just
for a
inside.
48-yarder here.
Yeah, just inside the 31-yard line. So he'll be kicking it from back around the 37. Jackson is the holder. Special teams always an adventure in these all-star games. A little bit of a low snap, but Jackson's able to haul it in. But the kick's going to be well short and wide to the left regardless.
That's still pretty good. I mean, for a high school kicker, he's probably good from 40. 40 there.
That was a pretty long attempt for sure. McGuire also will be attending Davenport. He was 3 of 7 on his field goal attempts in the 2016 season, 32 of 33 on his extra points for a total of 41 points last season. So the Davenport connection here into the tri-state football scene is very strong and very evident, Ryan.
Absolutely, and Jared McGuire would be wondering of me if I asked him to show me the money.
Stepping up away from the pressure, lets the pass fly, but that could be trouble. But nice, nice job by Fall to come back and get that pass
from Sycamore. That was a quarterback trusting his wide receiver to go up and battle for the ball. And time again, as you see the replay here, Saren Davis, Summit Country Day, big arm, just throws it up. Kadeem Fall fights for that ball. You see it time and time again, though, in the college, NFL, everywhere, where the quarterback will do that, and the wide receiver doesn't fight for that ball.
So a big chunk of yardage picked up. East moves into West territory, 1st and 10 from the 40 now. 7:45 remaining.
Snap.
Ball's loose on the ground. Davis attempted to fall on it. Did he come up with it?
He did come up with it. That was a great hustle by number 50, Troy Smythe Jr. from Woodward. Oh, I'm sorry. Couldn't see his number.
It was just a low snap. So East, after a promising catch and good pickup of yardage by Fall, has trotted right back into West territory. The ball's now at the East-owned 46-yard line. Jackson.
Screen.
Plenty of time.
Throw. He's not looking to throw.
Yep.
I thought he might have been looking to throw there, but there's just a screen that was blown up by number 23, Trey Relaford, number 10, Tyreek Daly.
Cooper Schultz caught the pass, but
You
East is moving in the wrong direction again.
See the way he caught that? It looked like he might have been getting ready to throw something there.
Yeah, Magnolia from Loveland. Sorry, looked at the wrong roster. So 3rd and Warren County at this point for the East All-Stars. 3rd and 32 officially on the scoreboard.
3rd and a mile.
Jackson back to pass, has time.
Went up for fall again.
Good high, tight spiral looking for fall.
Just off his hands, and he almost breaks the chains. Get him fall.
A little bit too high, a little bit too much mustard on it by the very strong Jackson. So 4th down, East will elect to punt the ball away.
Yeah, that strong arm by number 12, Zarin Davis, for Summit Country Day. It was really, it looked like the same play from Miller where he just threw it up for Kadeem Fall from Sycamore.
So Tristan Green from Blanchester will handle the punting duties.
You don't think he's going to tuck it and run it on 4th and 32, do you?
Not on 4th and Warren County.
And it's Franklin.
But it is an all-star game.
Franklin Stewart's back to return the punt.
Plenty of time. Roll-out style kick, but it's
not very far.
Going to sail out of bounds right around the 40-yard line.
Punt. 22 yards. But there's no return, so, you know.
Yeah.
Not exactly what you want for a net average, but, you know, it's better than kicking at 40 yards and having Franklin Stewart return it for a touchdown. He's had 3 interception returns for touchdowns this year. So he's got the capability to do it.
Said it earlier, and I'll say it again. Special teams are always an adventure in an all-star game. Good crowd on hand here tonight at Kings High School. A lot of these parents, family members, classmates here to support these young men. For some of them playing their final football game of their career, others their last high school game before moving on to the collegiate ranks.
Looks like Camp House is back under center for the West.
A little bit of a low snap and nearly intercepted that
Tipped
time.
up at the line of scrimmage. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback, get your hands up. And that's what the East All-Stars did, and it was almost intercepted. Check out the replay here. Low snap. Couldn't quite see who got the tip there. It was number 39 for the East that almost intercepted Ryan West from Lebanon.
Camp House, 2nd and 10. Good time. Pass is a little bit low, intended out for Eric Price of Aiken. Skipped it off the ground.
It's the second time they've thrown a screen to Price. Price is sick. I was talking about this a minute ago. Price is 6'3", 210. Get him downfield and get the ball up in the air, almost like what the East did with Kadeem Fall. Do the same thing with Price and let him go up for a pass.
I think at this point, until the West coaching staff is convinced their offensive line can hold their blocks to let that play develop, they're probably going to stick with some of these shorter passes. Ryan?
Then I would go someone with more like a Franklin Stewart or Gerald Smith, somebody like that. They're more suited. I think they're suited. Middle screen here.
Oh, ball tipped again at the line of scrimmage, and almost another
That was
chance at an interception.
That was a great defensive play, okay? But first, that was a middle screen that was well set up. If it wasn't for the extraordinary defensive effort to get back and cover that, I can't see on the replay there who tipped it, but that play was well set up. He had 5 blockers in front of him and only about 3 or 4 defenders. He was going to pick up big yards there.
So McGuire in, 2 punts, Smith back deep for the East. It's 9-0, 5:50 in the second quarter. 4th and 10 situation here for the West All-Stars as McGuire will punt the ball away. Just a little bit of pressure coming.
End over end kick, the bounce.
Yeah.
Straight out of bounds.
Going to take a bounce for the East and roll out of bounds right around the 27-yard line.
It's going to be about a 22-yard punt.
Seems to be the favorite number for changing field position, around 22 yards so far in this game, right? I think the last punt was about 22 yards by the East, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. It was a 22-yard punt.
So from the 28-yard line, 1st and 10 for the East All-Stars.
Trying to see who's coming back out for quarterback for the East, and it looks like it's going to be Tristan Green again. Remember, he led the last scoring drive for the East with his exciting play to avoid defenders.
Dean Falls going to be split to the top of the screen. Going in motion is Will Thomas.
They faked a jet sweep to him. Green kept it. and advances the ball up the middle about 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, just under 3 yards. So
here's a replay of fake the jet sweep. Little keeper, nice little hole, 3 or 4 yards.
this ball just over to the 30-yard line. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
It's not exactly the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust offense, but pretty close.
2 yards in a cloud of rubber dust, right? Green.
What a one-handed grab. Number 44, Caleb Bastion from Bethel Tate. My goodness. A great pass by Tristan Green. He's rolling out. He's under pressure. He puts it out to where only his guy can get it. Check out the replay here. Check out Bastion. Hand up. One-hand catch. Bring it in. Come down with it. Nice catch. Nice play, young man.
Outstanding job there. 1st and 10. Under 5 minutes to go now. Fall goes in motion.
Corn up the middle.
Hand off to Corn from Madeira.
He's got 5.
Yeah, nice pickup, 5 yards.
The interior of the East line has done much better than the West. Try to catch some numbers there. Looks like number 74, Zach Richardson from Sycamore is on center. Maybe number 63, Nick Finley from Lakota East at right guard. And it's hard to see who's in there at left guard right now. But those 3, the interior part of the line, have done very well. And the East is going to take a timeout, it looks like, here.
Clock will stop at 4:09. So during the timeout, Patrick had an interview set up, but the player's going to need to run off to the huddle.
Looks like he has Larry Jones Jr.
Yeah, let's go ahead and send it down to Patrick.
Larry Jones Jr. is from Purcell Marion, going to Wittenberg for sports management. Why?
Took a visit of the school. Felt great. Just an hour away from home. When I went up there, I didn't want to leave. You know, I just love the coaches, love the kids. Just a great place to build.
Yeah. What is it like to play in your last high school football game?
It didn't hit me yet. I'm sure it will. But I mean, it's great to be out here with these guys. Some of them I just met. Well, yeah, we feel like a team. We feel like brothers, and yeah.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. Good luck tonight. Have fun. Larry Jones Jr. out of Purcell Marion, guys.
Headed to Wittenberg. He led the GCL co-ed in tackles last season.
2nd and 5, Glenn.
Back to live action after the timeout. Green back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He steps up away from it, but will eventually succumb to said pressure.
Looked to be like number 70 for the West. Andrew Karoba from Winton Woods might have been in on the sack there. There's a couple players that got some pressure going. Check out the replay here. Number 81 I see, and number 20, looks like maybe 23, Relaford. And I see number 81, Andrew O'Donnell, just coming around the end, getting pressure. And Tristan Green had nowhere to go. Interesting, though, is the East is now lining up 2 tight end sets. You see Bastion from Bethel Tate, and can't see the number on the tight end on the top side of the screen, but they're running a 2 tight end set. You think they might leave him in the block a little bit.
Green's going to keep it himself after faking the handoff to Fall, and a nice dive up the middle into East territory to get back some of the losses in yards given up on the last 2 plays. So that was 3rd and 13. He picks up 5, brings up 4th and 8 now.
Yeah, he fakes a jet sweep to Fall and just kind of tucks in behind Greg Korn from Madeira, leading him up through the line of scrimmage. Gets a few yards and just kind of gets in plus territory, just kind of playing the field position game here with 2:57 left to go before the half.
So Green will punt it away. Franklin Stewart Jr. from North College Hill, one of our ICRC-TV communities. Back at the 10-yard line to receive the punt. Green's last punt was about 22 yards.
And the play clock has gone down to 0, and there's the flag. So they're playing that field position game, but they're going to delay a game now, moving back 5 yards.
Well, it's either that or burn a timeout on the punt like the West squad had to do, and we talked about that. Sometimes you don't want to do that.
At that point on the field, I would just take the 5 yards. Yeah.
Right. Real
But
estate's
but
valuable.
If you're playing the field position game, it does kind of
Right.
stink, you know.
Right.
Kind of negates what you did on third down.
Yep. So Stewart Jr. now up to the 15 where he was at the 10 after the 5-yard penalty. Green rolls out.
He almost ran
Better,
right into a defender.
Better punt that time. It's going to be fielded by Stewart at around the 11.
He didn't take a fair catch. Looking like Adam Jones from the Bengals on that one, who will never take a fair catch. And Franklin Stewart didn't take a fair catch there. Maybe he ought to.
So really a no harm, no foul type of penalty on the delay of game because due to the Gunners getting down quick.
That was really Lane Evans that got down there and busted that up. He had a couple helpers with him. But Lane Evans, we've called his name a few times tonight. Linebacker and running back from Turpin, 5'11", 215.
1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, 2:26 remaining here in the second quarter from Kings High School.
Got the Davenport connection back in.
Jackson back to pass, steps to his right, sidesteps some of the pressure, gets
Stewart.
the pass off, complete to Stewart. Stewart stepped out of bounds but was able to get out of the grasp of that defender who had him around the ankles.
I think the momentum of the defender took him out of bounds there. He wouldn't have really had a chance to keep it back in. And
Ryan West of Lebanon in coverage.
it's a nice roll out there by Eric Jackson. And you see just the momentum of the defender there pushing him towards the boundary. Would have pushed him out anyways.
So first down, Jackson's going to roll out to his left.
Long. He's got Gerald
pass
Smith.
Fly. Complete. Deep into East territory. Ball's going to be caught inside the 35-yard line and will be spotted around the 33, it looks like. So great play call and execution by the West All-Stars, Ryan.
Absolutely. You're looking at they only had 2 minutes to get 90 yards, and they've got a lot of it in 2 plays here.
Yeah, and back to the line quickly. A handoff up the middle is not going to go anywhere, though.
Yeah, they moved backwards about 4 yards there.
Yeah, quick handoff.
Kind of hard to question play calling in an all-star game, but that's an interesting play call with 2 minutes to go, and you have all the momentum in the world going with your passing game right now.
And Caldwell from Coleraine with absolutely nowhere to go.
A replay to sand it off, and there's that number 34 for the East. Hunter Collier from Blanchester. Oh, those Blanchester players.
Yeah,
They're leaving their mark on this game.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Jackson back to pass again, stepping away from the pressure as he rolls to his right. Defenders in pursuit.
Right through the hands of number 14, Daquan Freeman from Macon.
Yep. Hits the hands, you got to catch it, young man, as they say, right?
Absolutely.
On Sunday afternoon.
The throw was behind him. He did have to turn, but when it hits your hands, you got to grab it, son. Nice throw on the run here by Eric Jackson. Again, he did have to turn all the way around to catch the ball, but still, get your hands on the ball, you got to catch it.
3rd and 13, clock stopped at 1:18 after the incompletion.
You got plenty of time.
3 receivers now to the bottom of your screen, 1 to the top. Jackson.
Pressure.
Under pressure, and it's going to be dropped back inside the 45. It's going to be brought down around the 47-yard line.
Sammy Myers, Jamal Hines, Ben Collado, all 3 getting back there. And
timeout's going to be taken by the East All-Stars.
Sammy Myers leading the way, Jamal Hines right behind him, Ben Collado cleaning things up. There's a 4th member of the East defense in there, couldn't quite see. And,
so a promising start by the West is now been short-circuited by a leaky offensive line.
This is an interesting situation. In a normal game, it's automatic, you punt. This kind of a game, 58 seconds left. Maybe you just throw one downfield and see what happens.
Yeah.
And hope that your defense can, not give up any kind of big plays in the last, 45 seconds or so that would remain.
And a smart use of the timeouts by Brandon Salmons of Blanchester, forcing the West hand a little bit. They could have burned off several seconds, not giving the East much time. But you can't take them with you to the locker room.
A man with 6 children has to have great time management skills.
This is very true. And with 1 child, let alone 6, right? So after the timeout, see what the West.
The offense is on the field.
What the West is going to do here, kind of the same formation, but flip 3 receivers down to the top.
And they
of
put
the
9
screen.
seconds back on the clock now. So instead of 58 seconds remaining, there's a minute 7.
Well, the referees were getting pretty animated about trying to get the clock stopped. So certainly don't disagree with that. Jackson back to pass. Here comes the pressure. He steps away from it, still on his feet, but he's under pursuit and is going to be brought down around the 47-yard line.
Well, that was number 8, Larry Jones Jr. Patrick just talked to him just a minute ago, and now he's in the game making a play. That's what I love about the East-West All-Star game. And I'll brag upon ICRC a little bit. I love the way we do it. We'll interview a player, and then you see him in the game a minute later making a great play. As far as Eric Jackson, it's 4th down. You just got to throw it up. I mean, you just throw it in the air.
And most of the players are generally happy to cooperate. I know when I worked the sideline 2 years ago, I think I had one player maybe that told me he didn't want to be interviewed.
We usually have one or two a year that may decline, but nice
pass
play
is
here.
Complete.
Great open field tackle.
Yeah, great tackle that time. But
it's Marquise Petty from Middletown with the tackle.
Pass was complete to Tribble. Nice job by the quarterback, who was looking one way and ended up throwing the other. So
that was a great lead by Zarin Davis to lead Tribble across the middle.
Davis
He's
steps
run.
up.
He should run.
Away from the pressure, looking for fall, and broken up.
Did he hold on?
Oh.
Yeah, he held on. The referee says he held on to the ball. Number 13, Will Thomas from Middletown, jumped up and tipped it down to himself. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong team there. Number 13, Dominic Johnson from Hamilton.
Nice job by Johnson. So
he's considerably shorter than Kadeem Fall, and he out-jumped him here. Kind of hard to tell if he really held on to the ball or not, but
looks like he had his hand under it.
It looked like he did, and even if he didn't, he did a great job of selling it enough to where the referee bought it. And 25 seconds left here. You're going to see Camp House come in, and what do you think they might try to do?
Well, I imagine you're going to have to throw a couple deep balls if your offensive line holds up. The part that worries me about that is
I would probably
deep in your own territory.
I'd probably try to run a quick little bubble screen or a jet sweep, see what happens.
1st and 10 from their own 9. That's going to be a pitch and a reverse. Nice move. Good gain that time of about 13 yards or so. So excellent work by Gerald Smith, right? You see the ball carry?
No, that was Franklin Stewart from North College Hill. They pitch it to Caldwell, who hands it to Stewart on the reverse. And instead of going all the way around the end, he cuts through the line, which is really what got that opening for him. Because the end was not sealed off. The East defender did a great job. He stayed home. Stewart just cut up inside and got about 25 yards there. I'm sorry, about 15 yards.
Yeah. So now 1st and 10 from the 25. Clock stopped for 16 seconds. There's a timeout on the field taken by the West.
That's their last timeout. They have 0 timeouts with 16 seconds. You almost got to see another trick play here.
Right.
Or you try to throw something down the sidelines. Well, whatever happens. I mean, if you get a 1st down, the clock does stop for the chains to move. So it might be enough time to get up and spike the ball.
So the East and West both break their huddles. Camp House, probably time for 2 plays here if all goes well.
Gerald Smith will be at the bottom of your screen. You got trips up top. Nope, sorry, 2 receivers up top.
So the West offensive unit looking over to the sideline for some guidance.
Plenty of time.
A little odd after coming out of the timeout, though.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. You got 10 seconds on your play clock still.
Comes the pressure. Camp House has to let it fly, and
still might be able to work 2 plays in here.
So 5 seconds come off that time. It's 2nd and 10, 11 seconds remaining. There you can see Camp House just pressure coming in from the left side, free and clear.
That's what you like to call trigger happy there. He saw that pressure coming, and he just let it go.
Yeah. Well,
and with 0 timeouts.
Had he been sacked, though, the clock would have kept running. And
yep. With 0 timeouts, that's a smart play. Just get that ball out there.
2nd and 10 from the 25. West desperately trying to find a scoreboard. They trail 9-0. Love to get points going into the locker room with a little bit of momentum. A little bit of a low snap. Camphouse able to come up with it. Pass is complete over to his left side.
Now the clock will stop for them to move the chains. They have to hurry up and get up on the ball and spike it.
5 seconds. Campus is going to have
They
to
have
spike
to
it.
move faster than this.
Yeah.
Because as soon as those chains set, the refs are going to start the clock.
Just makes you wonder if they even had a chance to
There they go. They're up there
practice a clock play, Ryan. All right, and there it is.
He
So
barely got that.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
4 seconds ticked off. So 1 second remaining.
1 second remaining in the half.
So desperation heave here or trick play, what are you going to do? It's 9-0. Favor the East. West with enough time for one more play. Campus will be in the gun. Camphouse, excuse me, trips to the bottom, one receiver to the top. 5 down linemen for the East. Camphouse gets the snap cleanly. He's looking for a receiver over to his left.
Pressure by number 33.
Aiken.
And you have pressure for number 33 for the East, Sammy Myers. And just again, there's no time for the West really to do much offensively.
So at the end of the first half, we've had 9 points, all by the East. They lead 9-0. Gonna have a 20-minute halftime here. Sideline reporter Patrick Gashin trying to track down the coach. So
yeah, looks like he might have Chris Mobley.
So let's send it down to Patrick.
Chris Mobley, the coach for the West All-Stars. Chris, more importantly, is your team having fun tonight?
Yeah, they are having fun. But, ultimately we want to try to put some points on the board and win this game. But we're definitely having fun, though.
And you're down 9-0. What's the number one thing that needs to improve for the second half?
Up front, we got to protect a little bit better. But I think our guys and our coaches will help get that together in the second half and make it a little bit more competitive up front.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck in the second. Chris Mobley, his team's got work to do in the second half, guys.
Nice job tracking him down, Patrick. So a little bit of an extended halftime here. There's several scholarships and other forms of recognition that occur during halftime. We're going to step away and get a drink of water since we've had to talk a lot here. Probably too much, Ryan. And we'll be back with the second half of action. ICRC-TV Sports, the 42nd annual Ron Woyan East-West All-Star Football Game. Don't go far. We'll be back with the second half in just a few moments.
Son of Joe and Vicki Hennekes. Trey will be attending Mount Union. Michaela King, daughter of Chip and Stephanie King. Michaela will be attending Mount Vernon Nazarene. Hayden Kraus, son of Jason and Denise Kraus. Hayden will be attending Lindsay Wilson. Kaylee Murphy, daughter of Debbie and stepfather Ryan, as well as her father Chad and stepmother Melissa Murphy. Kayla will be attending Mount St. Joseph University. Brooke Neal, daughter of Jeff and Mitzi Neal. Brooke will be attending Wright State. Carissa Osborne, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Osborne. Carissa will be attending Miami University. Hannah Schneiber, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Brent Schneiber. Hannah will be attending the University of Kentucky. Cooper Scholes, son of Dan and Kathy Scholes. Cooper will be attending the University of Alabama. Aubrey Stoll, daughter of Rob and Kim Stoll. Aubrey will be attending Wittenberg University. Haley Taylor, daughter of Zach and Pam Taylor. Haley will be attending the University of Cincinnati. The Cincinnati chapter of the National Football Foundation each year supports the outstanding scholar athletes in this area by providing a $1,000 scholarship to those who qualify. Tonight, Mr. Roger Thiesing, board member of the Greater Cincinnati chapter, will present the William S. F. Thiesing scholarships to Bryce Couch from Edgewood High School, son of Brett and Judy Couch. Bryce will be attending the University of Sioux Falls. Ethan Gundler from New Richmond High School, son of Joe Mott and Chris Gundler. Ethan will be attending the University of Cincinnati. Also receiving scholarships but unable to attend tonight's game are Mason Callahan from Waynesville High School, son of Kelly Callahan. Mason will be attending the Ohio State University in Newark, Ohio. Jake Newton from Anderson High School, son of Chris and Chrissy Newton. Jake will be attending Miami University. The final two scholarships are financed by Connie and Sam Boggs III in honor of his father, Sam Boggs II. Xavier Henry from Pontiff Career Technical Center, son of Byron and Angela Henry. Xavier will be attending Miami University. And Joe Vieneman from Marymount High School, son of Kevin and Leah Vieneman. Joe will be attending the University of Cincinnati. Each year, the SWOFCA honors former coaches and individuals as honorary members who have contributed to the game of football. Tonight we'll be honoring Kevin Huxell from Roger Bacon High School. Kevin has been a member of the Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association for his entire 35-year career in high school coaching dating back to 1980. Coach Huxell is an alum of Roger Bacon High School, where he participated in football and track. He graduated from the University of Cincinnati with a degree in education and math. Not only has Kevin served as a head football coach for 13 seasons, he's also served as an assistant coach at various Cincinnati area high schools, including Roger Bacon, Northwest, Ross, Lakota West, LaSalle, and Baden. Coach Huxell was head coach of the 1980 Hamilton County League champ Northwest High School team that was the first high school from the Northwest local school district to make the playoffs. Coach Huxell also made the playoffs as head coach at Roger Bacon in 2010. Please join me in congratulating our 2017 Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association Honorary Membership Award inductee, Kevin Huxell, Roger Bacon High School. Each year, the Southwestern Ohio Football Coaches Association presents a Coach of the Year award named in honor of retired McNicholas High School coach Steve Klung. The criteria for winning this award are a coach who has had a positive impact on the development of young men through high school football, who has provided major contributions to and has been an active participant in the Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association, and who exhibits integrity and sportsmanship as a priority. The 2017 recipient of this award is Tim Woyan from Harrison High School. Tim is a graduate of Mount St. Joseph University and has coached at the collegiate level for 9 years. Coach Woyan coached at McMurray College, Central Methodist University, Southwest Minnesota State, and Mount St. Joseph. He has also coached at Anderson High School and served as co-offensive coordinator at Harrison High School. Tim was very active in the Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association and served as All-Star Game Director for 3 years. It is a privilege to present the 2017 Steve Kalani Coach of the Year Award to Tim Woyan. Accepting the award from President Vonderheid on behalf of Tim will be Tim's dad, Ron. And finally, the Doc Collins Award is presented each year to a person who has contributed beyond the sidelines. Previous winners include volunteers who helped with equipment, boosters, medical tension. We all know that successful programs can't succeed without individuals who contribute outside the coaching ranks. This year, members of the Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association selected an individual whom they feel best exemplifies this award. That individual is Dan Albers from Anderson High School. Dan works tirelessly for the Anderson football program. He announces games on public access TV, helps to organize the annual golf outing, developed our Football Alumni Association, helps track down football records, and is willing to do anything asked of him by the football program. He truly cares about Anderson football and is a huge asset to the program. Dan Albers, 2017 Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association Man of the Year. Let's give one round of applause for all of our scholarship and award recipients this evening.
Welcome back to 42nd Annual Southwest Ohio Football Coaches Association Ron Woyan East-West All-Star Football Game. Glenn Olson, Ryan McGahey, along with Patrick Geshen, our sideline reporter. Ryan, a pretty uneventful first half, I think, for the most part, and the stat sheet kind of tells that story.
Yeah, the stat sheet does tell that story. You look at the West total production, 33 plays for 91 yards, less than 3 yards a carry. And then you look over at the East, and really their shining bright star is Tristan Green. The stats only say 31 yards rushing. He's added in 70 yards passing. And really that one drive where they scored the touchdown right after the safety, that one drive, he really drove his team down the field almost single-handedly with his plays and his ability to make defenders miss. And that really is the brunt of the offense for the game tonight. And if you look over at the West side of things, you might want to try to get Eric Jackson throwing the ball some more. They've been alternating offensive series between Logan Camphouse and Eric Jackson. Logan Camphouse is 1 of 6 and for 15 yards. Eric Jackson is 6 of 7 for 87 yards. I know you're trying. It's just an exhibition game, and you're trying to split the time, but you might want to consider maybe going with Eric Jackson a little bit more.
I think Jackson brings that explosive element, and we saw glimpses of that throughout the first half. And not to continue to pick on the offensive linemen, but the offensive line play has been not great in this game. It's not given the West offense a chance to let plays develop, but really both teams not getting it done on third down. Let's take a look at our Cablecast replay schedule there. Also be sure to find our archived content at ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. The West All-Stars 1 of 6 on third down. The East 1 of 5. So a combined 2 for 11 on third down, just not able to sustain drives. So we've had a few extra minutes put back on the halftime clock here. The tradition at high school halftime, you get the bonus 3 minutes after the halftime period expires. If you stayed with us through the half, you saw several scholarship recipients recognized.
Well-deserved awards going out as well.
Yeah. Coach of the Year and Man of the Year. So some very high honors for some of the athletes and coaches in attendance here at the game tonight. So just a shout out to Ron Woyan and all of his staff that helps to make this a really fun, memorable event every year.
And while we do have a minute, let's take that minute to recognize our crew tonight. Directing and producing down there in the truck is Jason Dudley. And kind of sidebar here, along with his partner in crime, Dean Lowry. Dean Lowry, welcome aboard to the ICRC team. It's going to be an honor to work with you in the future, and it's great to know that you're my replacement, and my office is in good hands. So welcome aboard, buddy. Look forward to your good work in the future. And the rest of our crew tonight, of course, my partner is Glenn Olson. Then the camera crew, Nate Capana, Jake Burleson, Matt Steele, Eric Johan. Down there in the truck, Josh Simsprott. Sorry about that, Josh. And then we have Michael Kosman running around. He's our makeup department tonight. Michael Kosman in the makeup department.
So we are set for the second half. Andrew Hauer, Mason will kick it away. Line drive kick will be fielded around the 25-yard line by Eric Allgaier of Ross.
Big guy, linebacker, picking that ball up and advancing it a few yards.
We mentioned in the first half, Eric will be continuing his career at Otterbein in the Columbus area. So the West with a chance to get their halftime adjustments implemented here in the early going of the third quarter to see if they can find their way to the scoreboard.
Quick replay of Allgaier picking that ball up. Good hands, too, for the big guy. Tuck that ball, get a couple yards. And it's the Davenport connection back in the backfield for the West.
So Jackson will start the second half at quarterback for the West All-Stars, Ryan. going to keep it himself. Tries to slide away from a defender up the middle. Will be a gain of 2.
That was almost a false start there by Caldwell in the backfield, but able to snap the ball just in time. It's a replay. A fake by Jackson up the middle.
One of the neat traditions of this game are the players swapping helmet decals from their opponents and rivals. So you get that East-West All-Star game look like from the college ranks with different decals on the helmets. We have a timeout on the field for an injury.
Yeah, to make matters worse, so that the offensive line issues for the West, that's an offensive lineman that's down right now.
Well, you always hate to see an injury regardless. You really hate to see an injury in an All-Star game. This is supposed to be fun. It's typically a pretty clean game.
You're looking at the West coming in here with 7 offensive linemen.
One goes down.
You're down to 6.
Right. And a lot of these linemen playing both ways, offensive and defensive. Just due to shortage of numbers and available players sometimes. I'd like to congratulate our director, Jason Dudley, on his new career as a stand-up comic, apparently. Jason's trying to be funny down in the truck with us, so during the timeout here. Trying to break up the tension, but haven't been able to figure out who the injured player is yet, other than it's an offensive lineman. Did you get a look at the number, Ryan?
I have not been able. He's unfortunately, he has been flat on his back, and it looks like they're just now sitting him up, which is good news that they're sitting him up, because if it was a very serious injury, they wouldn't move him. But still, he's crowded by all the trainers and the great medical staff here. And his coaching staff, the West All-Star coaching staff, is out there very concerned.
I think I have an idea who it is, but I don't want to speculate until we can.
He's going to stand up. We're going to see here in a second. That's 71.
And that's who I thought. Justin Clark from Mount Healthy, because I saw his teammate, Rashad Roddy, there checking on him. So glad to see him up, moving under his own power, a little gingerly. Pronounced limp at the moment. Hopefully he's able to walk that off.
It's hard to tell which side he's favoring. Looks like maybe his right side. I don't know if we have another look at that replay or not to see if we can see where the injury occurred.
So Justin Clark will be continuing his career at Thomas More College. He was named to the All-Ohio team for the 2nd year in a row this year. So a 2-time member of the All-Ohio team. So we certainly hope that he's able to get some treatment and walk away and continue his career without any hindrance.
Let's see if maybe the 3rd member of our team, Patrick Geshin, can get over there and find out what happened.
Stewart Jr. Takes the handoff and very nearly put the ball on the ground.
He did put the ball on the ground, but honestly, he looked like he was down before he fumbled.
Take a look at the replay in a moment. So, 3rd and 10. We're approaching the 11-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Sun has pretty much set. A beautiful full moon. There you see. Tackle, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah, his knees were down before that ball came out.
Still a scramble for the ball.
Even looked like East might have recovered it. They're about to take a delay of game here.
The referee's even going, yep, finally somebody calls it.
Wow, they got an extra 2 seconds, 3 seconds there.
The referee, I think, was going to give him every chance in the world to get the play off. But
they're going to have 3rd and 16.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to throw the flag and assess the foul.
For a team that's averaging about 2.7 yards per play, moving backwards is not good.
Yeah, not the right idea. So that was really the trial of the first half. You have a little bit of progress.
A little bit of a screen.
Yeah, dump off pass there.
And
forced out of bounds.
It was very close to being late.
And guess who was there to force out of bounds. Larry Jones Jr. has been very active defensively.
Caldwell
tonight.
took the screen. It was a well-designed play if you look at it here. He just lets that in to kind of skirt by him, turns around, takes the screen, gets about 10 yards.
So 4th and 4 now with the ball spotted on the west 31-yard line.
And the offense is still in the field. No punter.
Living dangerously. Jackson.
He's going to have to make something happen.
Trying to spin out of traffic.
He
He's not going to do it, and that's going to be a turnover. The East is going to have fantastic field position just inside the west 30-yard line.
See Larry Jones, Noah Hill, and Nick Hopkins maybe in there on the play.
You see Jackson just nowhere to go, tries to spin off, but the defenders converge, and lots of blue, no green for Jackson. So the offensive struggle continues for the West squad, just not able to gain significant yardage, more than one play in a row.
The East squad now, Tristan Green's coming back out for quarterback. 26, Ryan Bagnoli, running back. Tribble's in the backfield as well. Trips down low now.
Green's going to pass, nearly intercepted. It's tipped and almost hauled in over to the left, but it falls incomplete. Let's send it down to Patrick with an update. Patrick.
And guys, Justin Clark came off the field. He was in a lot of discomfort on that right foot. The medical personnel sat him down on the bench. His right foot is laying horizontally on the bench. The left foot is down on the ground. The medical personnel are looking at putting ice on the leg. They were feeling around it. For now, things do not look so good for Justin Clark in coming back to this game, guys.
Hate to hear that. Thank you for the update. Good work. I've walked around that field a few times on that sideline roll. You get a lot of steps in that way.
Good thing he's a young guy.
There you go, right?
Bagnoli, a nice run right behind the guard. Little hole right in between the right guard and the right tackle.
Another injury for the West now. We have a player down.
That looks like the other Mount Healthy out. That looks like Rayshawn Roddy.
Shaken up a little bit. Go back and take a look at the last two plays on replay.
Here's the near interception / near catch. Kind of tip drill going on here. And then here's the nice run by Bagnoli. It's going to run right behind number 63 there, Nick Finley. And then you had 64 on the pool, James McKee. He's able to get about 8 yards. And yeah, that is number 82 for the defense for the West team, Rayshad Roddy. So 2 injuries here in about the last 2 minutes, and they're both Mount Healthy players.
Right. Not what you want to see, that's for sure. Roddy able to walk off under his own power, not limping as noticeably as his teammate was. So the East with an opportunity. It's 3rd and 2. Clock frozen at 9:33. They're in front by 9. They would love to find the end zone here. They're about 2 yards, 3 yards away from getting into the red zone. Tristan Green at quarterback, as Ryan mentioned, before the injury. Motion across the screen. Green's going to keep it himself. Bounces out to the left. Nice little cutback. Back toward the middle of the field, and he's brought down inside the 15-yard line. The ball will be spotted at the 14 of the West. So nice run by Green. That will be a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 14. East has momentum on their side.
Right behind the left tackle with Bagnoli, the running back, lead blocking. And nice moves by Green. And then Alec Walkendorf, the safety from Reading, is able to come in and put a big lick on Green and stop the run.
I meant to note this earlier. Walkendorf, one of 4 athletes in the Cincinnati Hills League, recognized as Athlete of the Year for football. So congratulations to Reading's Alex Walkendorf. Green rolls to his right. He's under pressure. Gets away from 2 defenders. Lots of green in front of him, and he's going to step out right at the 12 or 13-yard line, Ryan.
Yeah, he takes what could have been a 6 or 7 yard loss and makes 2 yards out of it. Let's check out here on the replay. Pressure coming. And this runs right into our living room here.
What's that saying about chicken salad? 8:37 in the 3rd quarter. East threatening with a 9-0 lead. East sure taking their time here. Play clock under 5 seconds now. A little bit of confusion and a timeout will be taken. Yeah, not everyone on the same page there. And you see Green with his body language there saying, what's going on here?
2nd and 8, the timeout well spent. 2nd and 8's a lot better than 2nd and 13.
Well, the East, it's a good use of a timeout, I think, Ryan. They got an opportunity to get another score here if all works out well. And the way the West offense has been struggling so
really
far
have
in this
control
game.
Of this game right now.
They could be
16-0 lead.
Could be coffin nails. So let's send it back down to Patrick for another injury update. Patrick.
And guys, the player this time was Rashad Roddy out of Mount Healthy as well. His synopsis looks a little bit more positive than Clark's. He was in discomfort walking off the field. As you saw, the medical personnel brought him back to the sideline. He never did sit down. He just sat and then suddenly collapsed to the ground. But that was so the medical personnel could stretch his right leg. He's back standing with his teammates smiling, so I think he's ready to come back in, guys.
Thank you, Patrick. Good work.
He's actually back on the field right now. So good news for Rashad Roddy.
So the East is ready to go. The West, a little bit late, breaking up their huddle. Clock stopped at 8:32 after the timeout. Green barks out his signals. Fall goes in motion. Sycamore Aviator. Green's going to work his way up the middle, inside the 5-yard line. He'll be marked down at the 4. So good pickup by Green.
He's a nifty little runner. He tries to go off right tackle. There's nothing there. He bounces off his line, kind of squeezes inside. And you watch here, it looks like he's only going to get about 3 yards. And then suddenly he just pops through for another 3 and gets about 6 or 7 yards.
So 3rd and 1. 8:03 on the clock. Now under 8 minutes. Play clock approaching 5 seconds.
Got to hustle.
Green still trying to get his offensive unit together. He's going to keep it himself. Fakes the handoff up the middle. He's going to get down to the 3-yard line.
So he might have to measure this.
Yeah, it looks, well, the marker was on the 4. The officials are standing at the 3.
Don't move it. Yep, don't move it now.
So
1st and goal.
1st and goal from the 3-yard line. 7:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Give up the middle, down to the 2-yard line. A little bit of pushing after the play down there.
It's going to be a good time. I want to see that front 4, maybe even that front 7 for that West defense kind of step up here and knock that East offensive line back a little bit. Knock them back into the offense. Right here, this East offensive line, they're getting 2-3 yards off the ball. Come on, West defensive line, get in there and knock them back.
That was Bagnoli with the carry. Green's going to take it this time, though. He cuts back.
They'll call his progress stopped about half the half-yard line.
Half-yard line, according to the near official. So one step to his right, it would be chalk.
That's for the West. That's Rashad Roddy and number 70, Andrew Karoba on the interior of that defensive line there.
Clock continues to roll, 6:30.
I expect to see either Bagnoli or Green right up the middle again.
Green. Nope, Bagnoli.
There's a good stop. That was a good stop right there.
Got the feet churning, but the West defensive line
well short.
Stood up Bagnoli.
Rashad Roddy was in on the stop again. He may be hurt again. He's slow to move right now. I see Karobo. I see Roddy down on the ground. Then you got number 4, I believe, Adrian Ward for North College Hill in on the play.
Some confusion here for the West. Who's in, who's out? They're going to be shorthanded if the East gets this play off.
He's taking a timeout. Mobley's out there taking a timeout now.
Yeah, the East could have had an upper hand there had they been able to get the play call off, but the West takes a timeout due to the personnel confusion we described. Clock stopped at 5:46.
Well, football games, momentum can be a huge factor.
Right.
4th and goal here on the 1. They had 2nd and goal on the half-yard line. If the West defense can stop them here, they're talking about huge momentum for the West. And if the West offense can carry it down for a touchdown, we have a ball game. But we saw 3 straight runs up the middle, 2 by Green, I believe, and 1 by Bagnoli. I would suspect this time you're going to come out with something a little different. Maybe fake it to Bagnoli up the middle, and Green takes it around the end.
So Bagnoli's from Loveland, listed at 5'11", 220 pounds. Originally had committed to Georgetown College and decommitted and will be attending Mount St. Joe over on the west side of town to continue his
A little closer to home. A little closer
career.
to home. Let's see what they do here.
4th and 1. They've got to do something. The West defense has to stand
He's
up.
faking it. He's taking it outside. He's going to throw. It's tipped away.
Wow. So after all the runs, the East goes to the pass, and the West defense bends but does not break. They'll take over about as deep as they can get in their own territory.
Look at Tyreek Daly. He reads that play, gets that hand up. That's a good thing because number 44, Caleb Bastion, was wide open on the out pattern there in the end zone. Now, the West offense, who's been struggling with their offensive line, they got to play from the half-yard line, Glenn, and we've already seen 1 safety tonight.
Does that remind you of a Super Bowl a couple of years ago where you had an opportunity to run the ball and elected to pass?
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch.
I get the play call because it was run, catch him off
I thought
guard.
Green was going to keep. I thought they were going to make me look like a genius there and fake it up the middle, and Green was going to keep it up.
Yeah, that's why. We can't have Ryan looking like a genius.
You know, that might have been actually a triple option there where he can fake it up. He can give it to the running back in the middle. He can keep it and run it, or he can keep it and throw it.
Right.
Quarterback's decision.
Boy, the half-yard line.
And it was Tyreek Daly there because he shadowed Green very well.
Run the ball.
And he barely gets out of the end zone.
Yeah, and push back.
East sideline wants a safety, but you have to get that whole ball into the end zone. That's not going to happen.
So that's Lee Young from Mount Healthy, the ball carrier, wearing number 44.
For the first time we've called him on offense side.
Boy,
yeah, nowhere even close. He's out to the 1, forward progress.
Yep.
He would have had to regain his momentum and run back into the end zone if that would be a safety.
So officially no gain, 2nd and 10, but looked to maybe a half yard if that. So and a timeout taken on the field by the West.
I think that's their second.
That is.
So I'm gonna leave them with
one. They had to take the first one a few minutes ago due to the defensive miscommunication. So now you've burned one on offense when you're standing basically and you're in the end zone. You're trying to defend.
These teams are just like going to make us look wrong tonight. You had Tristan Green throw it instead of keep it.
Right.
You said high-scoring game.
Right.
9-0.
Well, I kind of thought, we talked about that feeling out period, and it looked like the East had found a few things to make some things work, but definitely a defensive struggle.
Kudos to that West defense for stepping up on that goal line stand.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, that defensive line, let's call out some names. Rayshawn Roddy. I saw Andrew Karobo there, linebacker, Adrian Ward. So just some of the guys that were in there helping with that goal line stand.
Now they're going to have to bail out their teammates here, though, Ryan. These offensive West All-Stars.
Don't want to see another punt from here. We saw that earlier. That didn't work well.
No.
And it's Franklin Stewart at quarterback. Stewart, he's a running quarterback, 1,300 running yards, 8 touchdowns.
He's going to pass.
Throw.
Steps away from
Look
the pressure.
how fast he is, though.
He's out of the end zone, gets nearly tripped up,
3
and
yards.
it's going to be forced out of bounds at the 5 or 4 yard line.
Wow.
So it gives him a little bit of breathing room, but not much, Ryan.
Oh, he was at blazing speed. Look at the speed here. Looks like he's in trouble, and he just takes off. Let the kid run. Let him run.
Wow. He was touched right there in the end zone by an off-balance defender. 4:51 remaining. Play clock under 10 seconds now for the West.
Let Stewart run.
3rd and 6 from about their own 5 yard line.
They can't afford to take another timeout here. Ball's on the ground.
Ball's on the ground. Ball's loose in the end zone. Stewart comes up with it, though. He's going to roll out to his left. He's got good speed.
It's going to be close.
He's going to be corralled around the 10-yard line. I think they're going to need to get to the 11, though, Ryan. So he's going to be a yard shy, depending on the spot.
10.5. Nope, he put it at the 10.
Yeah.
But look at this. What a play by Stewart. He picks that ball up in the end zone, then he's able to avoid all these defenders. blazing speed around the end. Good spot by the referees, too.
So 4th and 1, clock rolling at 4:15 now.
I'd expect Mobley to go for this here.
Well, showed faith in your defense. Got to show some faith in your offense here.
See if they might let Eric Jackson try to run it right up the middle.
He's going to sneak up to the line and is indeed
He
going to
fumbled the
attempt
snap.
to sneak it. He stood up.
Something happened with the snap. His second effort might have got him there.
Yep. Well, based on the spot from the VAR official, I think he's going to be
short.
shy.
We'll still have to measure. But it looked like something happened with the snap. Because it took him a second to get situated.
Get a look at the replay here once the truck gets it queued up and find out exactly what happened on that snap. You see Jackson rushing back up to the line.
See, it looked like he had to drop it. It looked like he dropped it and had to pick it back up.
And they are going to give the West the first down. So fresh set of downs for the West All-Stars.
It was a good second effort because I thought he was toast. And he was able to get a second little push there off the right guard.
1st and 10
Wow.
from the 11.
I don't know, Glenn. I got to go put Franklin Stewart back in and let him run.
Stood up at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss of a yard. The ball will move back to the 10-yard line. So after the first down, they give the yard right back.
Again, a guy that's been called many times tonight, 42, Lane Evans from Turpin. We've called his name over and over and over again on defense. And almost all of his hits have been hard.
So the West offensive woes continue. They've had the ball for several minutes now and have only gained 11 yards out of it. Jackson, low snap, able to come up with it. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to dance away from the pressure, and he does.
Throw.
Rolls
Get rid
out.
of it. Get rid of it.
Rolls out to his right. He's going to be forced out of bounds at the 5. So 5-yard loss.
Once he is able to get outside the pocket, you just got to throw it past the line of scrimmage out of bounds.
He's desperately trying to make something happen, but once again, the West is marching in the wrong direction.
It's a low snap again. We've seen multiple low snaps here on this drive. And like I said, once he gets out of the pocket, he's got to throw that ball and get rid of it.
3rd and 15, approaching the 2:15 points in the third quarter. So after a great defensive stance by the West defense, the offense is struggling. 2 receivers to the top and bottom. Jackson, quick pass,
Gerald
complete,
Smith.
Out to the 15-yard line.
Leveled.
It's going to be about 6 yards shy of the first down, though.
But that might have been enough to, Mobley went for it just a few minutes ago. Now I think punt team's coming this time.
Yep, big personnel shifts coming, so the West will punt the ball away. Smith will be deep again for the Princeton Vikings, or formerly of the Princeton Vikings. So we will have another change of possession. Smith's going to let it bounce, maybe lost it in the lights, and takes a friendly roll back. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. We're pleased to join us here in the booth, Adam Baum, Cincinnati.com, Cincinnati Enquirer. Adam, good to see you as always.
Likewise, my friend. Always a pleasure.
So we thought we were going to see a high-scoring affair tonight, and no.
Not so much. Not so much. I talked to East coach Brandon Sammons earlier in the week, and he was really pleased with how his defense was playing, and I think I have to agree with him seeing what we've seen here so far tonight.
So, Adam, lots of stories in the OHSAA this year, but I want to ask you first specifically about football. What do you think was the most memorable moment here in the tri-state area as far as football last year?
Well, that's a tough one because we had 2 kind of historic performances, things that have never happened before in OHSAA history, and that's LaSalle becoming the first team in state history to three-peat in Division II, and then you have St. X the very next night, the first team in OHSAA history to win the state championship with 5 losses on its regular season schedule. They were only the second time a 5-loss team has ever even played for a state championship. Right. So it was special to see both of those. But, that's going to be a tough act to follow this year because
absolutely
that stuff barely ever happens, and here we are again, gearing up for another go-round.
Well, and speaking of the Lancers, no Lancers represented here at the game tonight, but a coaching change. Pat McLaughlin makes the trip from Princeton over to the west side to take over the Lancers.
Yeah, and he's been a really popular name in the area, and obviously he was able to turn around Reading, turn them into a CHL champ playoff team. Then he parlays that into a Princeton appearance, and Princeton's a team that really they should have been in the postseason last year if it weren't for some less than savory
snitching. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah,
snitching.
It was not the best scenario. They basically get bounced from the playoffs because Dayton Dunbar has to forfeit and
due to an ineligible player.
But Pat McLaughlin, it's an interesting scenario because he's actually a Moeller grad coaching LaSalle. Mm-hmm. Moeller coach John Rodenberg is a LaSalle grad coaching at Moeller. So there's a little bit of a nice little twist there.
GCL always interconnected somehow, right?
Yeah, they always
They're kind of like the SEC. It's all for one for all.
You know what you're going to get, basically. Yeah.
So for probably if our fans at home watching this game tonight, they're aware of the competitive balance situation that came out back in April, I guess it was, for football. So if you could kind of give us a nutshell version of that and the impact you think it's going to have on the local football scene.
Well, I think at some point, everyone wanted to see if the one domino that was going to fall would have been LaSalle moving from Division II up to Division I. That did not happen. What they do is they take this competitive balance and they pair it with your school's enrollment numbers. And they combine the two together, and if you exceed a certain level, then you have to move up to the next division. So in Division I locally, we had Walnut Hills and we had Princeton make the jump up to Division I. And I think Walnut Hills, and obviously Walnut has to replace their coach, but we have Princeton, and I think Princeton with Mike Daniels, they're going to be a team to watch in Division I. But
very excited.
This is going to be a thing with this competitive balance where we see what happens down the road and we kind of see what becomes of this because we've only gotten 2 seasons now that have really been impacted by it.
Right. So I'm going to interrupt you real quick, Adam, and send it down to Patrick for a quick update. Patrick.
All right, I'm with Gerald Smith from Harrison. He's going to Ball State for psychology. Why, Gerald?
Ball State was a great opportunity for me. I just wanted to move on, bigger and better things, get a great chance to go play D1 football.
How much fun have you had tonight?
I've had a lot of fun. It's been a great experience out here playing with these guys, It's nothing like it.
What's your favorite thing about playing in a game like this, an all-star game, not very formal?
Just having fun with all the guys that I don't know, guys better than me, just having a great time with guys that I've never played with before. And just a great chance to go out here and play some good football.
All right, Gerald, thank you very much. Good luck for the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gerald Smith from Harrison. I'll get the high five there. Thanks, Gerald.
Nice job, Patrick. A lot of fun in this game. So I know you had a preview story that you wrote in the Inquirer, Adam, about the game the other day. And our folks can find you on Twitter at Adam J. Baum. Adam J. Baum. Get all of Adam's tweets about the local prep scene. So looking ahead to the 2017 season, that'll be upon us here sooner than we think.
Yeah.
What are you expecting to see in the local football scene?
Well, it's really interesting because now is the time, especially with a game like this, you really start to think about the coming year. And, I think Colerain's obviously they're going to be a team that we talk about. They have some guys coming back on the offensive side of the ball that are just world beaters, absolutely talented. And then, we already mentioned the GCL South, but outside of that, there's a lot of intrigue. You go into Division II and you talk about Turpin, new head coach, Harrison, new head coach. Anderson was the playoff team last year, and they may have one of the top quarterbacks coming back in the area. So I think there's a lot of teams that could really turn some heads this year and make some noise. And then one of my favorite aspects is kind of the local recruiting scene because you have UC really getting involved now. And now you're seeing these kids that are already committed to places. They're actively recruiting other kids in the area to try to come play with them. So it's kind of cool to see competitors on the field in high school put that to the side and come together to try to make an all-star college team.
Yep, and some big changes afoot with Luke Fickell taking over the helm of the Bearcats football program and really reintroducing Bearcat football to the local high school scene again. That, from everything you hear in the media reports and the coaches you talk to, I'm sure had been kind of ignored under the previous regime.
You hit the nail on the head. And talk about getting a job and hitting the ground running. This is a guy who just – from the moment he has taken the job, he has shown the city that the school resides in the respect that it deserves, because there were some reports and stories coming out after Tuberville had left that were basically appalling. We never saw him. We never saw his staff. And these are not small programs in the area that should be baffled by this. These are big Division I local programs that were like, we never saw him. So this is a nice shift in the right direction for this city. Yeah, and just a very smart move by Coach Fickell to have that practice over at Elder High School on the west side and really kind of just reaffirm that commitment in a big way to a powerhouse program. Yeah, and from what I've heard, they're gonna revolve that. So they're gonna move that around every year and try to make that kind of a tradition in and of itself. And I think that's a great idea. So Milford is one of our ICRC communities. A lot of excitement out on One Eagles Way with the hiring of Tom Grippa. Oh, yeah. What's your thoughts? Well, I know you're not on the Milford beat, but you know Coach Grippa. Yeah, he's as seasoned as you get, and what you're getting is a guy who knows how to win, who knows what it takes. He's experienced in the high school realm. He also is experienced in the college realm. And what I'm interested in is to see him kind of combine those two worlds and bring it back to high school. And Milford, they're a booming place out there, and you see Milford have success in all these other sports. It would be great for them to have a big year on the football field. Yeah, just one playoff appearance back in the Napoleon McCallum area in the 1980s. Oh wow! So the only, I believe, playoff tournament appearance for Milford. That's a long drought. That's a long drought, and as football crazy as the town is, I'd be real curious to see the impact that Coach Grippa has on the program. Well, I know they were excited because when that news broke, that fan base really showed up and shared that story, and they were certainly interested. I mean, I know the city was, because Grippa's kind of a legendary name in these parts. Yep. And everything kind of worked out well. There happened to be a teaching opening come open in Milford, so I know he's been working the Eagles out in the weight room pretty hard, and we're really excited to see what he's going to bring to Milford football when they make their debut in the Crosstown Showdown down at Nippert Stadium. Against Oak Hills. And that's talk about an exciting way to start the season. That weekend right there is you got two good ones on Friday night, Elder Lakota West, followed by Coleraine LaSalle, which is the marquee matchup that people are going to want to see. And then you got a quadruple header up there on Saturday with some interesting matchups, a lot of ECC, GMC tilts. So I can't wait. Those are long days to cover them. I know you know that, but it's fun when you get back out there and get going. A lot of fun, early season excitement, and with all the changes that you mentioned with the coaching staff, it's going to be an interesting year. So real quick before we let you go, the competitive balance showed up in basketball this week, too, and I know you had some stories on that. Notably, Roger Bacon and Summit Country Day moving up to Division II. Absolutely, yeah. And I spoke to Roger Bacon coach Brian Neal today, and basically they weren't surprised by this. I think they had an idea because they got to see what happened with the fall sports a few months ago. And, I'm glad that the duo moved together, because we talked back in basketball season about how special that postseason rivalry is. Yep. And now there's a chance we might get to see it up in Division II. So I can't wait for that, too. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to getting underway with the next prep season after some vacation time here and some hot days, and be it on the beat doing your previews before you know it. Oh, right? No, man. Again, you can find Adam on Twitter at Adam J. Baum. That's B-A-U-M, Adam J. B-A-U-M. Be sure to look Adam up and follow him and Scott Springer and the rest of the crew at Cincinnati.com for their outstanding preps coverage. Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure. Yeah, appreciate you stopping over, Adam. Anytime. Good to see you. Take care. You as well. So the score still holds at 9-0. Now well into the fourth quarter. We're approaching the 9:30 mark. It is going to be fourth down and 4 here.
Well, glad my bathroom break is over.
Yeah, right.
Did you survive without me?
Adam's a great guy. I could talk to Adam all day. He's got to know him a few years ago when Roger Bacon made a run up to Columbus and in basketball, and see him at events, across the city. And of course, I know his cohort Scott Springer from my interning days at WLW. So just I always like to promote those guys. They're good people.
And we've had we've had Adam in a couple times, and always a pleasure to have him in at ICRC-TV.
Yeah, have to have the gang back over for a Gridiron Report. Going to be bringing that back, hopefully this fall. Even though my producer left me.
I think Dean Lowry might carry that tradition.
Ryan was a longtime ICRC-TV producer and left back in the spring to pursue a career with Rush Media, so now producing professional events. Not in the real world, so to speak, right? Kind of like you graduated high school. You moved on to
it's
the
kind of
real
like
world.
I moved up from high school to college and minor league sports.
Yep, there you go. So clock stops at 9:02. And we are looking forward to bringing the Gridiron Report back and maybe have a podcast surprise in store for you this year. We'll see how timing works out with Brian's travels and everything I got my nose stuck into in addition to this little broadcasting hobby. So, but really, it should be a fun year in high school football, like I talked about with Adam.
And any medium in which we can help promote the high school, the prep sports is honestly, it's a victory in my eyes.
Right. We are just truly blessed in this town to have outstanding preps coverage. I know Rick Casano from the Journal News is over sitting next to Adam in the press box next to us, does a great job with the Butler County teams. You've got Mike Dyer at WCPO. We've talked about Adam and Scott and that whole Inquirer team. And, organizations like TriStateFootball.com, do an outstanding job of covering the game online, and then at their radio program on Friday nights. There's a pass to the end zone and touchdown. Kadeem Fall from Sycamore.
It's a nice move by Kadeem Fall. Green kind of did a little pump fake there. Kadeem Fall faked in, stepped back. Green just threw right over the defender's head.
So with 8:54 remaining in the fourth quarter.
There's your replay.
Green rolls out to your right.
There's a defender, fakes, bites on it. And
yep.
Kadeem Fall, nice and easy.
Fall in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, you're talking about the prep sports and the coverage here in Cincinnati, and it kind of reminds me of a story. A buddy of mine, Michael Hearn, you can look him up. He's really big in the Cleveland area, the Lima area. He worked on this game with us last year.
Sure
He was
did.
one of the sideline reporters.
Sure did.
But he constantly tells me how impressed he is with the amount of coverage and information you can find on our prep sports, and I've seen that true. When I was trying to produce games for ICRC, when it got to playoff time, and a team from our area in Cincinnati was playing a team from, Columbus or Northwest Ohio area, it was nearly impossible to find information on these teams
for sure
that were just readily available, and you had to get in contact with the schools, and God bless those schools,
right,
always willing to share the information with us.
Well, and sometimes up in the Dayton area that gets behind a paywall, so you have a hard time finding information out.
And the thing that's great about the Cincinnati area is you don't really have to go to the schools for that information. It's there. It's readily available.
Right. Absolutely.
Thanks to guys like yourself and Adam and all the other guys that cover the prep sports.
Well, it's a lot of fun to do. As I know we've worked together for several years now and worked with Jason as well on shoots. And it's just a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a little stressful trying to get equipment working properly and cables run and dealing with site managers who may not be as engaged with broadcasting prep sports the way we are. So, but it's a lot of fun to do, and we certainly enjoy bringing it to you, and want to take this opportunity to thank our ICRC communities, because without those communities, none of this would be possible. So we're excited this year. Both of our remote trucks are going to be in high definition for football season. So standard def goes away, and it's all high def for football and basketball from here on out. So definitely excited about that.
Absolutely. You'll still see your cable broadcast at home in standard definition. That will come in time within the next couple of years. You'll see HD broadcast on your cable at home in the next couple of years or so. But online at ICRC-TV.com, you can find all these games in HD with HD quality.
Boy, these blue jerseys on just continue to hit hard and make their presence known. There you see Campus, little swing pass over to the right, and receiver not able to get very far before he's brought down at the 35-yard line. So,
and interesting note here, I could be about to do the announcer's jinx, but in 41 previous games.
Holy cow!
Right off
Stewart could have
hands.
hauled that in. It was a
He would have
busted play.
ruined what I'm about to say. In 41 previous games, there has been, I believe, 4 shutouts.
Yeah.
Four shutouts in 41 games.
So there you see the ball off Camp House's hands. He picks it up. A little bit of a busted play. Had Stewart, and wow. Just too bad for him. So that would have been a big gainer and a good momentum shift. But it's 3rd and 11, 8:17 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Camp House tries to step away from the pressure, but steps right into more, unfortunately. Fourth and 11. Under 8 minutes to go in the game now. 16-0 in favor of the East. There you see Camp House just with nowhere to go. So the West is starting to run out of time. So let's send it down to Patrick.
Got Alex
Patrick,
Walkendorf.
take it away.
Yeah, Alex Walkendorf, first team All-District when they hear he is from Reading. Alex, talk about this game. What have you liked the most about it?
I just like the opportunity to just play one more football game because I'm not playing in college, so it's just one more opportunity for me to play under the Whites.
Is it a bittersweet moment for you playing your last ever high school game?
Yes, very bittersweet. I mean, it's crazy to think that I've put in since Little League that it's shortly coming to an end. Yeah.
All right, UC for criminal justice. Why criminal justice?
I don't know. Whenever I was a kid, I just always had the dream of being a cop, and I just want to follow my dreams.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Have fun the rest of the way. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Alex Walkendorf from Reading. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Patrick. Reading, of course, one of our ICRC communities.
I am a alumni from Reading, and so obviously always love to see a Reading Blue Devil get some love.
Yeah, and just the coaching job. Oh, there's a touchdown again for the East. That pass was complete.
Zarin Davis from Summit Country Day to number 13.
Fantastic job.
Will Thomas from Middletown.
Yep. Middletown, unfortunately, went winless this year, so I know the Middletown players that made the All-Star game kind of wanted to come out and prove a point that they're better than that, and pretty good example of it right there.
No pressure whatsoever from the West, just a nice little fade route to the corner there.
22-0. Extra point attempt on the way.
I think we officially call this game blown wide open.
Yeah. Good old-fashioned, as Marty would say. 23-0 in favor of the East All-Stars. 7:18 remaining in the game. The West has not been able to sustain much in the way of offense, and now they have to do it just 7 minutes and a few seconds to try to find a scoreboard.
Andrew Hauer with the extra point there. Let's show our Mason guy a little love. His season, he was 6 of 8 on his field goals and 32 of 33 on his extra points, and he's perfect on his extra points tonight. Mason Comet, Andrew Hauer.
Outstanding prep career for that young man. Playing his last football game as well here tonight. 42nd annual East-West All-Star game. Tee it up, kick it off one more time. West anxious. Get back on offense and try to get something put together. Nice kick will be fielded inside the 5-yard line.
It's the first time they've actually kicked it off.
And
Ball will come out across the 20 and be brought down around the 22-yard line.
All the other East kicks have been little pooch kicks all night long.
Right. That was a good kick.
Well, it almost seems like those pooch kicks were intentional all night.
Yeah.
They didn't want to get it back to
right.
Stewart or Smith or anybody that was back there.
Yep. Now they figured, well, we got 23-point lead in 7 minutes. Let's
go ahead and kick it to him.
Give him a chance to kick the ball hard and give your special teams unit a chance to get out there and mix it up a little bit.
Well, it looks like the East is going to continue their recent dominance over the West and extend that lead from 23-18 to 24-18.
Yeah, and as we had mentioned at the top of the show, the East had won 9 of 10 coming into this game, and all indications point to 10 of the last 11 going to the East.
And it's interesting, if you look at the history, you can actually go back and see where there were certain streaks. Yeah, I think from 90 to 96, out of those 7 years, the West won 6 of the 7. Then after that, they went back and forth for a few years, and then the East started this streak.
Yeah.
So it almost just seems like there's a shift in talent throughout the city, as far as how they divide the teams.
Yeah, we were talking with some of our crew before the game. One of the guys mentioned, aren't most of the powerhouses on the west side? Well, yeah, they are. But for whatever reason, the East has figured it out in this All-Star game. And, maybe some of it has to do with the West drawing more recruiting attention. And as we talked about earlier in the show, that, some of your major D1 commits aren't going to play in this game, risk injury.
Yeah, so you mentioned having the powerhouses out west. So you have Colerain, St. X, Elder, all those teams out west. LaSalle, didn't mean to forget you. Most of their top guys are committed to D1, versus guys out east where they might not get as much publicity, and they're playing for the lower D2, D3 teams.
Well, and there's this, you look at conferences.
He's going long.
Sure
He's got him.
Nice haul in of the pass from the 23 down, crossing the 50-yard line.
Number 1, Tony Buckley from Hughes, 5'11", 185. I think that's the first time we called his number tonight.
Yeah.
How about the arm by Franklin Stewart? Little guy, the mobile quarterback.
Nice high pass, tight spiral. Well, looked tight.
Beautiful follow by our camera there. Eric Johan down there on camera. What a follow. Great camera work, Eric.
So now the West needs to build on this. The habit has been one big play and then marching backwards.
Their drive was stall out, yeah.
Yeah, Stewart stays in at quarterback. Timeout.
And here we go, marching backwards. Nope, there's a flag down.
Delay a game. Nope,
offsides. Defense. No.
Offense.
Guessing one of the offensive players lined up offsides. That probably typically be a receiver.
Is that one of the first penalties we've seen tonight?
We've seen a couple delay games.
Okay, short of that, yeah.
Yeah, short of that, no, we haven't seen any penalties. Huh. And what that usually is like I said, a receiver has lined up offsides. He didn't check in with the official, the line judge there, to make sure that he was lined up properly.
Stewart steps away from the pressure, but the blue jerseys are there in pursuit and right on cue, marching backwards.
Yeah, and when the snap is imminent, that line judge, if that receiver hasn't checked in and the receiver's over the line, when a snap is imminent, he'll stop the play.
So we'll go back to our East-West conversation, and again, admittedly biased. My kids just graduated from Milford High School, so I follow the Milford program. I follow the ECC. But, so you've got Coach Grippa coming in at Milford. You just had Coach Stoll step down at Turpin, and Kent McCulloch from Harrison makes the crosstown move to take over the Spartans. Anderson, a resurgence the last couple of years after a couple of down years, really playing fantastic football. Nice run up the middle, first down. Oh, no, going to be shy of the first down. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. My apologies. Glen Estee and Amelia combined to form West Claremont Wolves. Nick Ayers is a potential powerhouse in the making.
I had my first interaction with Nick Ayers this week. My son actually is going to play for the Glen Estee youth team, coached by Brad Mahaffey. But Nick Ayers and some of the West Claremont players put on a football camp this week for the whole West Claremont area youth kids. So, Amelia, Glen Estee, Batavia, and very nice coach Nick Ayers there.
Wow. Oh, pass interference. That's going to be a push-off.
He caught the ball. No, they're going to say it was incomplete. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty.
Well, in a beautiful new facility being built.
You know, and going to that camp, we drove past that facility every day, and it looks like it's about 60 to 70% of the way there, maybe even a little closer.
Yeah, it's impressive. Well, they're starting school there in August, so I know the contractors are under tight deadline to get done what they need to get done.
I believe it's August 30th, so they gave them a little extra time.
But yeah, just fantastic new facility being developed out by the residents of the West Claremont School District.
The stadium, I was looking as I was driving by, I looked at the stadium and I looked at the press box. It looked kind of similar to what Lakota East and West have.
Mm-hmm. So you know, you had the coaching change at Walnut Hills due to a series of unfortunate events and things that occurred there. But Walnut Hills was, you know, had shown signs of improvement last year. Withrow had a coaching change, I believe, last year also, but playing some competitive games. So there's good football on the east side is the point I'm taking a long time to get to.
Oh, no. You're absolutely right. Definitely a lot of good football on the east side.
You know, we covered Mount Healthy New Richmond in the playoffs last year. New Richmond's coach left and went to Canal Winchester, but you've got a quarterback coming back out there. I believe he's going to be a senior this year. Started since he was a freshman. So go further a little east of New Richmond and Western Brown.
Anytime you have a 4-year starter, you're in good hands usually.
Right. So, yeah, some interesting things happening on the east side of town as far as football.
Got him on a post route. No, he does the out route.
Complete
Number 14.
Touchdown.
No shutout. Stewart.
Boy, the West.
Daquan Freeman from Aiken.
The West needed that in a big way, and that was very well executed.
Thought he might have been going for the post route. He had Tony Buckley open, but nice eyes there to find Daquan Freeman on the out route.
Nice highlight for that young man out of Aiken, as Ryan said.
We avoid the shutout.
Yeah.
Still only 4 shutouts in the East-West All-Star game, the 42nd game here this series.
So we get a attempt at an extra point here by Jared McGuire at Fairfield.
Show me the money. Block. No! How did he get that kickoff?
And good.
How did he get the kickoff?
I don't know, but he kicked the daylights out of it.
The player looked like he was standing right over top of the holder. There is an East defender standing right over top of the holder. How he didn't block it, I'll never know.
23-7 now.
Here we go. Slow it down.
Wow, that is amazing.
It's the magic bullet.
2:47 remaining, 23-7 in favor of the East. West avoids the shutout. We'll take one more look at the extra point.
Slow it down.
Jackson did a good job hauling the snap in.
Did it go through his legs?
Sure looked like it, didn't it?
It looked like it went through his legs because he jumped there.
That might have hurt.
Well, yeah, they're going to show it again. It looks like it might actually have went through his legs. Yeah, you can see the ball there.
Holy cow. Jumped right over it.
We still get to see some excitement after all.
The things you see.
Yeah, I need my John Madden telestrator so I can draw you lines on the screen and show you where everything is.
That's a scary thought, you with a telestrator.
I can try my really bad John Madden impression here.
No, it's getting near the end of the All-Star game.
The defender comes in here, boom, and he just goes right here, bang!
Got to get a bam in there. Yeah. .247 remaining in the game.
Yeah, I thought about doing a Chris Berman on some of the Tristan Green runs earlier.
So the kick is fielded around the 40-yard line. We'll see what the West can do with one more opportunity here with the football, Ryan.
If you're not having fun, you're not trying, right?
Exactly right. Nice high kick. Hauled in. And there's Kings Island off in the distance.
That is the Delirium. No, that's the drop tower, right? Oh, the swings. Is that the swings? Question.
Yes.
Why did the East just kick off to the West?
I have no idea.
What did I miss?
We were too busy talking about telestrators and TriCasters, and something happened. Yeah, so.
Maybe they just agreed to kick it off. I don't know.
Yeah. Give them one more chance. Ball's loose on the ground, and Stewart's going to be tackled at the 25, so that's a loss of about 14 yards.
You know, I thought I was sitting here. We were doing kind of joking around, and I was waiting for the West to line up for some sort of an onside kick.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to you, and out of the corner of my eye, I see the East kicking off, and it took a minute to register, and now it's just sunk in that the West scored a touchdown and the East kicked off to the West.
Let's send it down to Patrick for an update on the sideline. Patrick.
Well, guys, the difference of mood on the sidelines is very apparent wherever you go. On the East sideline, there's a lot of laughing and smiling, and it's been that way pretty much the entire game, even when we started, when the score was tied 0-0. Meanwhile, on the West side, things have been a little bit more serious and businesslike. Not much smiling, not many high fives, not a whole lot of fun, and it's been that way since the start of the game. So maybe two different approaches to how these two teams took on this game, and maybe the East side was more successful with their approach than the West.
Great insight, Patrick. And you can't help but wonder if the West just is not feeling a lot of pressure due to the losing streak in this game. Having lost 9 of the last 10. So we're going to get an update from Patrick here.
Patrick,
in a moment.
why don't you talk to Ron Woyan? Do this on. Can we do an interview here, Patrick?
Ron Woyan is giving Patrick an update. It's about what happened with the kick there. So we'll have an explanation here for you momentarily. Meanwhile, we're under 2 minutes now, 23-7, 1:59 remaining.
Patrick, get that on interview.
All right, Patrick, let's send it down to you for an explanation of what happened there with the kickoff.
Well, the explanation I got from Ron Woyan about why the West team got the ball after that touchdown, he said there is a rule in this game in the fourth quarter that if your team is down by more than 15 points after they score, and this can only happen once in a game, the team can either kick off or receive the ball. So the West team elected to receive in that situation. That's the only time they could do it in this game. That came out of the mouth of Ron Woyan, who obviously runs this game, so a trustworthy source there. So that's why the West got the ball back.
Outstanding work, awesome. Patrick, and now that makes sense.
Yes.
Now that makes sense.
I would love it if we could interview Ron Woyan. That would be great.
So
we got to talk to him pregame, and he's such a nice gentleman.
Yeah, it sure is, and they've always been very accommodating of ICRC broadcasting this game. It's a good keepsake for the players. Get one more game on film. You can purchase the DVD from ICRC.
So, fourth and short here. They tried to do the same play they did earlier, and he fumbled the snap again. Check out the replay here. He runs up. He's going to do the quick snap. Earlier, it's the same thing that happened earlier. Now, earlier he was able to pick it up and get the second effort. This time he's not able to get the ball back up.
Never had the ball close to him, unfortunately.
So we learn something new every day. There's a rule in this all-star game that if you're down by 15 or more, after you score, you can elect to receive a kick.
Right. Makes sense to me. 23-7, 1:49 remaining. The East recovers the fumble by the West. They're in West territory.
A real double reverse here.
And he's got a blocker out front. Good blocker out front.
This little sweep around the end to Greg Korn from Madeira, and he gets number 24, Brandon Conklin from Miami Valley Christian Academy, coming around the other way for the reverse.
Nice job by the East. Little trickeration here late in the game.
But I want to know how Ron Woyan read our mind. Because there was no way he could have known we were wondering why the West received the ball. And he just voluntarily, he walked up to.
Might be watching on YouTube. You never know.
Maybe. Maybe he's watching on ICRC-TV.com.
There's a pass to the end zone looking for Kadeem Fall again.
No, it's Terrence Smith.
Oh, Terrence Smith. I'm sorry. Princeton Viking.
Kind of went right through his hands, I think.
Did. Stands start to empty out. 70 seconds remaining in the contest. East with a comfortable lead. It's been a lot of fun, Ryan. These games are always fun to especially see some of the kids we covered throughout the previous years in ICRC Friday night football and playoff football.
I just can't imagine how some of these kids feel it's their last football game, like Alex Walkendorf, last football game ever.
Right.
Can't imagine.
Bittersweet, for sure. I think those were the words that Patrick and Mr. Walkendorf used in that interview, bittersweet. So,
one more time before we go, our crew down in the truck, director Jason Dudley, running replay, also producer, director Dean Lowry, again, welcome aboard to ICRC. Camera operators Nate Capana, Jake Burleson, Matt Steele, Eric Johan. On graphics, Josh Simsprot. I can't get that name right. I'm so sorry, Josh. And then Michael Kosman running around in the makeup department.
Appreciate our crew coming out. It was a warm day, not overly hot, but still that's a lot of effort and exertion to get this production set up. So Green under pressure, and he's going to be brought down back near midfield. His feet are still moving, and he's finally brought down at the 47, 48 yard line.
That's probably going to do it there.
By Allgaier from Ross. And that will do it. 3-2-1. And the game is final. The East emerges victorious by a final score of 23-7. The East All-Stars have now won 10 of the last 11 Ron Woyan East-West All-Star football
Well, at least
games.
we didn't see the fifth shutout in the series history. We didn't see a touchdown for the West.
Yeah, if the West could have figured that out a few more times tonight, it may have been a little more competitive because that was a pretty decent offensive drive.
And we got to learn a new rule.
And, yeah, learned a couple new rules tonight. So, Patrick's down on the field trying to catch up with our winning coach. As the players shake hands one more time at midfield, the fans begin to vacate the stadium. Just a reminder one more time, you can catch this game along with all of our other archived events at ICRC-TV.com, ICRC-TV.com. And as a reminder, if you're interested in learning production and broadcasting, we need you. Interested in volunteers to come and learn how to operate the camera, learn how to operate the remote production truck, learn how to produce events in the studio like the Gridiron Report.
You can even be an on-air talent like what we're doing right now, if you know your sports. And let me tell you something before Pat grabs this interview. Coming out and volunteering for ICRC, it's fun. If you're into this kind of stuff, it's fun. And not only that, it can lead to a career. It happened for me. I started volunteering in high school. And so did our producer director Jason Dudley. He started volunteering when he was in grade school. The young gentleman that you're about to see do an interview here in a minute, he's a high schooler at Talawanda. He's volunteering his time, and I guarantee you, in 5 to 6 years, the guy's going to have a career in the industry.
Yeah, and props to Patrick. Great questions on the sideline tonight. I know when I worked the sideline a couple years ago, I felt like I was asking the same thing over and over again. So Patrick really did a good job of preparing questions ahead of time and bringing a lot of valuable information to the broadcast tonight with this sideline interview. So let's listen in to the winning huddle.
Go get back. If you're part of something, get back. All right, coach, is anything? Great job, man. That was a lot of fun. East side, boy. 1-2 on the east side. Okay, I got you. East side on 2, east side on 2, 1, 2, east side.
There we have a look at the dejected West huddle. Hopefully those guys had a chance to enjoy the game despite the outcome.
They all had a great high school career.
Yeah.
It culminated here. Don't look at it as a loss. You lost an all-star game.
The winning East squad, East team. Okay, over. East has won this.
The kids that love the game, that were dedicated, we have fantastic attendance at every practice, and we were close to 75, 80% attendance at every. These kids put in the time. These kids bought into what we were getting. They.
Too much meat. Oh, sorry about that.
Offense. I love offense. Trying to
out of range.
Yeah, they actually take a wide shot of the field. You can see, actually, you can't see Patrick and the coach inside.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations. Thank you.
There's a huge
Coach
mass of bodies on the field. And you can't see Patrick or the coach in there. And what it is the antenna's blocked there. But how about the fireworks show? Almost perfect timing. The game ends, and just a few minutes later, we have fireworks. Glenn, you want to take us home?
Yeah, do appreciate you tuning in. Ryan, it was fun to work with you up here in the booth instead of having to tell me what I'm doing wrong in the truck. So truly enjoyed it. Look forward to working with you together more this fall and hopefully this winter. Thanks again to our crew. And on behalf of Patrick Geshen, Ryan McGahey, our producer, Jason Dudley, I'm Glenn Olson. We appreciate you tuning in to this special edition of Friday Night Football, the Ron Woyan East-West All-Star Game. So long, everyone. We'll see you in August.